what's going on, Conscious Crew? Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. As you guys are piling in, run those lights all the way up, girl. We got to get into the delusions of it all. All right, please bully the hell out of that thumbs up button. You guys know that thumbing up the video not only helps with YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notification system. So when you are banging on that like feature, you are literally knocking on the digital door of another Conscious Crew member and telling them to get their asses into the sanctuary. So run me a like. It don't cost you nothing. It's free 99. Speaking of free 99, you can always show love to the King if you appreciate everything that the King does here on Cash App, $Consciouztv, and or PayPal.me/Consciouztv. And that's Conscious spelled with the Z on the end, just like it is here on the channel. All donation information is in the description box below, as well as on the ticker that's going from right to left in red and white at the bottom of the screen. Also, make sure that you guys share the stream out to wherever it is you have digital community, whether that be your YouTube community wall, your Snapchat, your MySpace, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you in fat lay the link. Just let them whores know that we're loud, live, and in color. And with no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, what's going on, Conscious Crew? Happy Tuesday. Please bang, bang, bang on that thumbs up. You guys have been doing so wonderful on the thumbs up. We need all of the things here. Let me speak to the Conscious Crew before we get into the thizzle. What is going on, T. Colin? What's going on, Arinda? Hey, Pink. Preston. What's going on, Knee3 Dog? What's going on, Sister Serenity? What's going on, Osh? What's going on, Ave? Hey, Bessa. What's going on, Latte? What's going on, Ian Gardner? Hey to see Bus. What's going on, Amber? Shout out to Lipstick Alley, honey, in the street community on Period. What's going on, Dream Doll? What's going on, Akanis? Hey, Boo. What's going on, Amber? Hey, y'all. Hey, Jewel. Hey, y'all. Okay, you guys, I'm going to try not to keep you guys long. We just got to get into some major updates. So you guys know that everybody was live last night showing their asses, including myself, Gora Barnyard Wiggins, Milagro Scams. Girl, it was up last night following the successful and iconic lawsuit verdict in favor of Megan Thee Stallion, who sued failed blogger Milagro Gramz last year for defamation, cyberstalking, intentional infliction of emotional distress, harassment, etc. Girl, it was a litany, girl. And Milagro Gramz was found guilty on all three counts. Now, you guys know that we've been following this case since Megan filed against Milagro last year. And let me tell you how petty Megan is. Like, I'm never just going to forget the level of petty that this Aquarius is in, girl. Megan has literally filed this lawsuit against Milagro one day before Halloween of 2024, girl. She tricked and treated that bitch, girl. I was screaming, honey, that she tricked and treated her with an audacity piece of civil suit, girl, the gag of it all. You guys also know that my personal opinion was that Megan's team was doing an epic job on paper with the filing since last year, but I felt like they kind of had dropped the ball a little bit as it relates to the production of the trial performance from the attorneys, even trial performance from Megan. However, my girl still claimed, the hottie of the South girl still came out clean. She swept across the floor. She's just that blessed and highly favored girl. She got her mom sitting to the right of her shoulder. She got her grandma sitting to the left of the shoulder. And she got the Holy Spirit sitting to the center. Okay, so even with all the things that we can criticize about her attorneys, even about her performance on the stand following the cross-examination, nonetheless, it still resulted in an epic slay. However, we're going to talk about what happened last night. We're going to talk about the judge's orders that are now in, and we're going to also talk about areas that I think could have truly benefited Megan in this case. So let's go ahead and open up with the judge's orders. No, before we get there, let's start with last night's shenanigans, okay? So, of course, like any loser, okay, they have to attempt to, make it appear as though they're not sweating. They have to find some angle to, feel good about themselves. You got to laugh to keep from crying, especially when you owe a woman thousands of dollars that you don't have and are going to have to grift off of your supporters. And guess what? She's grifting, girl. That going sin is already up, girl. Begging people who didn't run him out, begging people, girl, who did not terrorize Megan Thee Stallion, begging people, girl, who never wanted that smoke to use their coin to get her out of a street fight and a bar fight that her ass clearly could not handle. You wrote a check that your flat ass couldn't motherfucking cash, baby. And now you asking everybody else to cash in on your behalf. Are we going to get into all the things? What's going on, Limsky? Hey, y'all. Hey, St. Marquise. Hey, y'all. So let's open up with last night. So last night, we went live to talk about the verdict. We went live to talk about the things, girl, to break it all down. And as I said last night, I know a lot of you guys are looking at the money, 75K. She done spent at least $1 million or $2 million on just the case itself. I had to remind you guys that this was never about money. Megan knew that Milagro was broke from the very beginning. When you have early discovery in a case, not early discovery, but earlier on in litigation, when it comes to civil suits, is you explore the finances of each other. This is why Milagro sat down for a deposition, talking about her finances, talking about how much money she did and didn't make on Station Head, which come to find out, she's been fired from Station Head, girl. She was one of 2 creators on Station Head who actually had a actual contract with Station Head, was apparently making 5-6 figures on Station Head, and she done that up, girl. The girl can't keep a channel, can't keep an Instagram platform, can't keep a Discord, can't keep a YouTube. I mean, my God, like, is there anything she actually can do except for lay on her damn back and not know which dick in the dark is impregnating her? Okay? Is this not the self-proclaimed dog-ass bitch herself? All right? Is there anything legit she can do? Except for just take L after L after L after L. I don't even know how she fumbled that. I got the receipts last night that her contract done been up, allegedly, child. So, she sat down early on in this lawsuit to give a play-by-play of her finances. This is what happens. It happened in Cardi B and Trash a Case lawsuit, where you sit down, you go over if you have insurances, if you have entertainment liability insurance, what your occupation is, where your employment is, They explore all of those things for these reasons here. Plus, Milagro was openly supporting her legal fund online. So Megan knew, like we all knew, that the girl was broke. Okay, she had to go and send up to retain her lawyer funds for this lawsuit. Meg knew all of this. Meg was not delusional enough to believe that she was suing her peer. Milagro is not her peer. She's not her entertainment peer. She's not her economic peer. Like, they're not in the same tax bracket, which is why Milagro is still crowdfunding to even pay down this debt, just like she was crowdfunding to obtain her lawyers. So this was never about money. Suing Milagro was about a personal vendetta. Suing Milagro was a personal passion project for Megan, okay? She wanted to round up Tory, which she successfully did, and she wanted to round up his little paid-ass surrogate, like she did, okay? She wanted these hoes to go down in history in the court of law as losers, liars, fraudsters, slanderers, and she has successfully accomplished that, girl. Jay-Z and Rock Nation backed her, girl, in the dispensable income to just sue away, girl, because when you make money, you can spend money. See, no spending, no money making assholes don't understand that. You know, 75 grand is like $75 trillion, you know, for most damn people. That's not the case for a multi-millionaire with a dispensable income, girl. Okay? This is why Cardi B had it to spend. Megan got it to spend. Nicki had it to spend on that nosy asshole. The girls have it to spend, girl. So they can spend it and spend it and spend it and be Charlotte Swebb. This was personal for the queen. Now, following the successful verdict of Milagro scams being found guilty on all 3 counts, she took her flabby ass over to the Barnyard Girl, and Barnyard Wiggins and Milagro Scams had a conversation where Scams was attempting to get ahead of the judge. At this point, the judge had not ruled on whether she agreed with the jury that Milagro was in fact considered new media. Because if she was considered new media, she technically, according to logistics and protocol, would have been entitled to a cease and desist before Meg pulled the trigger and sued her all out, which Megan did not. The jury found that Milagro, according to them, and according to Texas, which as Pam Law Esquire came up here on the platform yesterday and said, has a very broad definition of media. Like almost anybody can be damn media. If you have a damn Instagram account, you practically considered media, girl. If you share, you know, celebrity news on your Facebook for fun, girl, you essentially could be considered media. It's literally so broad, girl, that even a squirrel with a microphone could be considered new media. So the jury found that, yes, Milagro, in fact, could be considered media. However, they still found her guilty of defamation, okay? They considered her new media and also guilty of defamation per se, which came at a $15,000 price tag, okay? Let me say that one more time. The jury deemed Milagro as new media and simultaneously found her guilty of defamation per se. Okay? Now, last night, the judge had not ruled, okay? But Milagro was flapping her orangutan titties around, you know, talking ish on Wiggins' platform. Oh, new media, we new media. And Milagro Gramz' legal team got out here in a tight ass press conference and was also like, yeah, they wanted multi-millions. That's also not true. Megan never really established any amount. She left it to the jury and to trial to determine what they felt she owed. She never requested a particular amount. Her team never enlisted a particular amount. And once again, all of this is consistent with the fact that money was secondary. That's why she didn't give a damn about the money. That's why she didn't have a set amount of money she was looking for and she was wanting. But when you do civilly litigate, money is just an automatic, natural part of the protocol of what you have to argue, whether you care about the money or not. So her lawyer still has to do their job in establishing some type of a grounds in which the jury would have to reward Megan with if they ruled in favor of her, considering that she spent $240,000 on a mental health treatment, that she lost multi-million-dollar deals like Call of Duty because of the trauma that she was experiencing and continuing to experience post Tory Lanez verdict because of sorry ass, dog ass, just like Milagro Gramz, you know, harassing and cyber stalking girl for $3,000 over a 3-year period. All right. But that was not the actual point. Once again, this was personal. But the lawyers did have to argue loss in wages, loss in opportunities, money that Megan spent to take care of her mental health, etc. And even with all of that, still left it to a jury without establishing a particular amount of dollars. So Milagro's team was just grandstanding last night when they were sitting in front of iPhone 7s, you know, giving a press conference, girl, on Androids and flip phones and shit, child. Well, after Milagro tried to speak ahead of the judge's ruling and her team tried to speak ahead of the judge's ruling, Meg responded to the bush of it all, and Meg's team also responded to the bush of it all right? So once again, you guys, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, share, 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 like. So this is Barnyard and Scam sitting on his platform, girl, hooting and hollering and spreading misinformation in real time last night. And of course, she's camped down because, you know, there's no filter to use on StreamYard, girl. Okay, girl, there's no filter to use on StreamYard, girl. So of course, she was camped the hell damn down. All right. So as they're flapping away, and her team are putting out misinformation about a new media verdict that has not rolled in yet because the judge is in her chambers and literally did not rule until 2-3 hours ago. Not last night, 2-3 hours ago, girl. Megan was on her TikTok and was on video, girl, and had captioned, "Not y'all getting on the internet line after losing." Now, Meg did take this video down. It was on her TikTok, but it was taken down. But shout out to the street committee, girl, for getting the screen grab from Megan's TikTok, girl. So Megan was gagging at how sore of a loser Milagro and her team was. That, girl, they have to do almost anything to just make themselves feel like they didn't lose entirely, girl. They got to find some angle, find something to latch on to, girl, to just not feel like the sorry mother suckers that they in fact are. So then that was followed up by Meg's team releasing an official statement to the press. And it reads, December 1st of 2025, which is of course last night, yesterday. Today, the jury that presided over Megan Thee Stallion's lawsuit against Milagro Gramz in the Southern District of Florida found defendant Milagro liable for all 3 counts: defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and promotion of an altered actual depiction for spreading false and harmful misinformation on social media. The jury found that Milagro deliberately harmed Megan with her malicious conduct on social media, resulting in the jury awarding Megan with a whopping $75,000. Additionally, and listen very closely, under Florida law, Milagro's liability for reposting the deepfake pornographic video will also require her to reimburse Megan for legal fees. So even this $59,000 is going to escalate, girl, shaving off $15,000, which was the least of the counts. The defamation was the least. The biggest monetary count here was the spreading of the deepfake, which was $50,000. Okay, the defamation was $15K, but this was the biggest count to begin with. Once they add those attorney fees, girl, this is going to be in the $102,100 plus range. Okay, let's read that again, girl. Under Florida law, the same law that allowed the defamation count to be dropped on a technicality because Megan just didn't send her a cease and desist, it's the same Florida law that also rebalances shit, finding Milagro liable for all of Megan's attorney fees as it relates to the spreading of the pornography situation, which was really a part of the central substance of this lawsuit against Milagro, because it was this video, it was this reposting, it was this doubling down from Milagro that led to Megan on the same night that Milagro tried to make this deep fake go viral, stopped in the middle of her tour on her show with her ass out, crying, breaking down on stage for all to see because of the sheer humiliation and intentionality that goes into unwarrantedly terrorizing her, who doesn't know any of these people outside of Tory Lanez, who are operating on his behalf. This was the night that she knew she was about to fuck Milagro up. And the very next day, Alex Spiro, who represents for Jay-Z and Rock Nation, etc., released a statement and let it be known to all of social media that Megan is coming, bitch. The day of reckoning has officially begun. Oh, yes, it did. So now, the same Florida law girl that renders that Megan should have sent Milagro a cease and desist before officially filing, since Milagro by a jury has been determined to be media. It's the same Florida law girl that just escalated the shit out of this situation, making it no difference, girl. She might as well just should have owed her the $15K if the girl is going to have to reimburse Megan for the attorney fees, which is going to take this shit into the hundreds and $2,000s and $300,000s of dollars. What the hell is $15,000 less when you about to owe the lady hundreds of thousands of dollars? My God. Today, girl, this is the ultimate alley-oop, girl. Just when she thought she had a win, just when she thought it was a win, friend, just win, girl. She thought it was up, honey. Just when she thought she had bragging rights, girl, Florida law said, and hold up, Miss Mamas. Rewind the tape back. Pull the caboose back into the train station, girl. You about to run her those attorney fees under the same law, girl. Girl, it is the alley-oop for me, girl. It's the universe snatching that little smile, girl, that little filtered ass smile, girl, right on off Milagro's lips, girl. Not her thinking she really had made it, girl, because she had a $15,000 reduction only for the same universe to come back 24 hours later, boo, and press the motherfucking gas on her ass. Girl, you can't make this type of karmic shit up. You cannot make it up. You can't make it up, Queen of Topics. You can't make it up, Sipping Social Life. You can't make it up, Lipskin. You can't make it up, RA. You can't make this type of shit up. Like, what? And this is why last night I was saying, girl, you know you're going to eat crow, right? Like, why are you speaking the song, girl? I would let all of the post-verdict convictions be concluded first before, girl, I get out here doing interviews, before I get out here beating on my chest like I'm the female King Kong, girl, before I get to feeling like I'm the Karate Kid, before I'm the Golden Child, girl, before it's me and Barney and friends, bitch. Like, just when I thought I made it to the edge of Camp Crystal Lake, girl, and was about to go home and be freed from Voorhees, girl, I would have allowed all the post-verdict convictions to just come to a screeching halt before I said anything, so that I didn't have to wake up the next day, girl, with cum and egg all over my face, girl. Like, I'm just trying to make it make sense. So the same law that shaved off $15,000 re-escalated the situation, girl, by having you be liable for her attorney fees because you were found guilty on the spreading and dissemination of that deep fake video. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You just can't do it, Danny, girl. You just can't do this low and just stupid. Just stupid. Over there in Barnyard Universe, girl. Riding the horse, girl. Riding the other stallion over there in Barnyard Universe last night, girl. Beating on her up chest, girl. Then she had to beat on that keyboard today, girl, to get that GoFundMe up, bitch, because it's about to be up and stuck. See, the financial victory of it all, even though Meg doesn't give a fuck about a financial victory, which is why she didn't even list a financial amount she was going for in this case, she wanted all of that to be determined by a jury. And she wanted a jury to decide the fate of a broke-ass bitch at that, who needed a GoFundMe to even fight her ass out in court. So Meg, once again, already knew that them pockets were economically weak, girl. Okay? She already had knew that. But since we're going to have a conversation about the finances of it all, oh yes, girl, there are going to be finances. Girl, wait until the attorneys, girl, get to send in, their invoices, okay? Because they've been litigating against this girl since last year. Oh yes, God. Okay, the whole case was built around the dissemination of the deep fake. That's why they didn't pull the gas on Milagro sooner, because they knew that the defamation shit was going to be weak. They knew a lot of that stuff was going to be like, we got to wait till she really escalates, girl, to when she really floors it, and we can really damn near guarantee a victory out of court. And that was with the spreading of the deep fake video, which was the biggest charge in this case. And strategically, girl, and this is why I got to give round of applause to her legal team, girl. Them using that deep fake as a part of this defamation suit is genius, because not only was it the biggest count that came with the biggest financial reward, it was also the count and the claim that was going to force Milagro legally to have to reimburse Milagro on those attorney fees, because those attorneys knew exactly, girl, what those fees were going to look like. And they're going to be damning, girl. We as a starting basis, girl, we just going to sit at a nice, nasty $150,000 to $200,000, okay? And that's on the low end, because that Experimental charges $2,000 an hour, girl. They've been on this bitch ass since 2024. So it's going to be nasty work, real nasty. But back to what the attorneys had to say. Oh, yes. Let's read that again, girl, because that was so gratifying and satisfying. Where we was at, okay? The jury found that Milagro deliberately harmed Megan with her malicious conduct on social media, resulting in the jury awarding Megan with a $75,000 reward. Additionally, under the same Florida law, girl, that says that Megan should have sent new media a cease and desist before she oozied out on her ass. It's the same Florida law that has Milagro liable for reposting the deepfake pornographic video that will require and mandate her to reimburse Megan for those legal fees. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed for her. Oh my God, I have such secondhand embarrassment for her. Like, oh my God, shanga-langa-lang. Regulate, girl. Order in the court, girl. Shanga-langa-lang. Judge Antonuta Nita, girl, said shanga-langa-lang. Girl, I know you thought I wasn't going to let my favorite rapper run up out of this courtroom with only a $59,000 tab, and she done spent all this coin. Shanga-langa-lang. Girl, you going to reimburse them attorney fees. Oh, yes, God. Quote, it says, "We're thankful for the jury's commitment to reinforcing the importance of truth, accountability, and responsible commentary on social media." Megan's attorneys, Maury Henderson, said, quote, "Not only is Milagro being held accountable for paying Megan's compensatory and punitive damages, but Florida's fee-shifting legal provision will require her to cover costs of Megan's legal bills on the deepfake claim. This verdict sends a clear message that spreading dangerous misinformation carries significant consequences. Contrary to public statements issued by Milagro's sorry-ass team of attorneys, the court has not issued a final judgment regarding the defamation count. The judge will make a final ruling and determine the entire financial amount that Milagro will be required to pay Megan, inclusive of legal bills and the defamation count, at a later date, okay? Like we said last night, girl, we're waiting on all of the post-verdict updates on the case, okay? The judge had to rule on the new media shit. She had to rule on the defamation per se shit. She got to rule over a lot of shit post-wrapping up the trial, girl. The case is not done, honey. Megan's legal team has also submitted a formal letter to Milagro's team counsel highlighting their blatant misrepresentation of the jury's verdict, noting they are continuing to post defamatory content and requesting that they retract the comments immediately. So do you know what the dummy Milagro did, girl? She had got on the platform last night, hooting and hollering. Her team got out there, girl, hooting and hollering about something that had not been determined yet. And then Milagro woke up, girl, still delusional, girl, under the impression that she done took a win because she had $15,000 shaved off of a verdict that's going to escalate into the hundreds of thousands of dollars because she going to have to reimburse that lady for her attorney fees under that Florida law, girl, because Megan's team is already writing up the motions, bitch, sending in the invoices, bitch, doing the calculations and running all of the receipts, girl, so that judge has to shake-a-lang-a-lang-a-lang-a-lang-a in the motherfucking chambers. Okay, so she got out here, girl, on this Twitter, on Elon Musk's internet, girl, still delusionally in her slumber, child, believing that she's at the end of her ropes when the road is just beginning to split off into 4 different damn directions, on top of the fact that the bitch is literally also litigating in an entirely different lawsuit with ex-subscribers of hers who are claiming SA, invasion of privacy, harassment, or the same things that Megan sued her over, because this is someone who has clearly a pathology of abuse. And her not being able to keep a monetized channel, her not being able to keep a Twitter, her not being able to keep an Instagram, it's just proof that the bitch abuses all of these platforms and community God loves. Okay, we're talking about a pathology here. But she woke up from her slumber, girl, okay, after having nightmares and sitting in post-trauma, girl, because Tory Lanez biggest op done wrapped her and her cult leader up, girl, like silly putty, girl. Put them hoes in a hot air balloon and sent them straight to hell, girl. Took both them girls, Miss Tory Lanez and Miss Milagro, girl, where the fuck they didn't want to go since they needed all of that, girl. Since they was walking around thinking that they was cute and like they was one of them ones, girl. Okay? So after she woke up, girl, from her PTS-induced nightmares because she got that work like her cult leader did, who also, by the way, should I remind you guys, owes Megan Thee Stallion $20,000 as well, because he was found in contempt for acting a damn fool in the deposition he sat down with in the cyber-stalking case, girl. So not only is Megan about to go get her hair done on Tory Lanez money, she about to top it off by getting her feet and nails done, girl, with Milagro's coin. Not you got to get out here, girl, and pay this woman, girl, so she can go and get her nails done with your little coin, girl. My God, today. And to think that you are a winner, it's just all a part of that goddamn jab, all a part of that motherfucking monkey juice that they put in you motherfucking hoes, claiming that, girl, the Americas was under attack. Oh, yes, God. No, ma'am, girl. See, that jab juice, I have you just all cerebrally and cognitively tore up. Oh, yes, it will. So she got out here on Twitter, girl, and said, the judge has officially signed on the dotted line. Defamation is out, girl. That $15K is out. What she need to put in, though, is that them attorney fees are in. Okay, see, she put a period where there should have been a comma, girl. Defamation is out, but attorney fees are for sure in under Florida law. Why she left that part out, y'all? Why she left the attorney fees part out, but kept the defamation in, girl? The full sentence should have read, defamation is out. Attorney fees are in, though, girl. Clock that T. Hello? Hello? She goes on to say, girl, to every media outlet that falsely reported anything otherwise, correct yourself. Then the bitch got the nerve to claim that actual media, who has, actual ethics, somehow misspoke when she and her attorneys were the one misspeaking last night, because the judge factually did not rule until today. The ruling over the new media was not in until today. Not last night, bitch, when you was hooting and hollering over there in the barnyard. Not yesterday evening, girl, when your attorneys were out there in front of them flip-flops, girl, giving a ghetto-ass press conference to the hotties, girl, about how y'all felt about losing. The update wasn't until today. So, like Megan's team addressed, girl, you and your band of cohorts were the ones putting out misinformation, not media, not the Jasmine brand, not the Consciouztv platform, not TMZ, not the Shade, actual media. Y'all were the ones spreading misinformation, talking ahead of a judge who had not ruled, because y'all needed to try to make the optics look as much in y'all favor as it could. And no amount of beating on your chest, even if defamation is out, bitch, that deep fake is in. Girl, you're left with a whole tab. Girl, you're having to run it. You're like, there's no way to even make this look like a win. And we're going to get into how the new media just tears up the landscape even more. So then the bitch in her delusion, girl, started going down this whole diatribe about how she's always been the Karate Kid, and she's always advocated, I guess how she advocated for another black woman who had got shot by a black man, right? Or how she advocated, girl, for those victims of Kaylin Walker, who she instead terrorized and traumatized, just like she did Meg, because she once again found herself in another male-identified scenario, in another male-centered scenario. So she went into this delusional diatribe, girl. I feel like Kuta Kinte, you look like him too, girl. I'm the one who fought for us. I was in the clubs in 6th grade fighting the adults and stuff. Feel like Kuta Kinte, I'm the one who fought for us ever since the 6th grade, did you? Okay, so she was in her Kendrick Lamar bag, girl. I cannot, I was literally shriveling, balling up like a little piece of paper, girl. Just the cringiness of it all, girl. My veins were clogging up. I was getting blood clots, bitch. The embarrassment, the secondhand embarrassment was creating blood clots, girl. I had to start pushing my legs and pushing blood and shit on my thighs and moving, pushing my lip notes and every damn thing, bitch, just pushing. Everything, make sure the blood was flowing. I started clotting up, bitch. Because I'm like, are you okay? You're not okay. I don't know why Meg's team didn't request, girl, that you have to undergo a psych eval and put you in a 48-hour holding chamber, girl. Throw you in one of them 5150s, because you need that too. You need that too. My God. My God, today. So let's put it all back into the facts. Something that she don't specialize in. Something that Barnyard Wiggins don't specialize in. Under Florida law. Okay, this is a state law. Under Florida statutes. Florida. Not the United States, girl. This does not apply federally. In the state of Florida, in this individual situation, Milagro was determined by a jury to be considered new media. The same jury that considered her new media also deemed her as guilty of committing defamation per se. The only reason the defamation count is being dropped is not because she didn't defame Megan, because she was found guilty by a jury of defamation. It's only being dropped because of a technicality. Because obviously, Meg didn't consider Milagro media. Therefore, she didn't think she had to send her a cease and desist. So a cease and desist had not been sent. But because a jury then later determined that Milagro is new media, the defamation, which is the least of the counts, was dropped on a technicality because she should have been sent a cease and desist. So there should be no narrative, girl, that, oh, she didn't lie. She didn't lie. The defamation was dropped because she never told a lie, bitch. That is not why the defamation was dropped, you big dummy. It was dropped based upon a technicality. The jury found her guilty of defamation. She committed defamation factually and according to the law. The only reason it's dropped is because Megan did not send her a cease and desist after the same jury also determined that Milagro was considered media. Okay? Okay, class? Two things are true at the same time. The same jury who considered her new media also found that she was still guilty on all counts, which is why I really hope that these dummies are not literally out here thinking that the new media clause somehow gives them any qualified immunity, because it does not. You are still suable, just like Milagro. You are still liable for damages, financial penalties. You are still up for all of the consequences and repercussions as media. This is not a badge of honor. This is not any of that. And to make it even fucking worse, as a result of being considered media, this is why we can be sued even more. It's because now we have the same responsibilities in the state of Florida to operate with a high level of ethics. We have an actual responsibility to be factual. We have an actual responsibility in the state of Florida to not lead from our feelings, to not lead from our biases, but to be accurate, to be precise, and to lead from the information and the facts in any given subject. That means that in the state of Florida, girl, your ass got to actually work, bitch. Yeah, you don't get to be no lazy ass, mediocre, conspiracy theory, driving ass bitch behind a microphone, girl. You don't get to lead from your feelings, girl, because if your conspiracies and your feelings end up injuring a public figure, the only thing that they have to do by law as a result of, in the state of Florida, you being found to be new media is send you a cease and desist. That is not, and might I add, that's all they have to do. Sending you a cease and desist doesn't mean that they don't have to go forth and sue you. They can send you a cease and desist and still go forth and sue the shit out of you. As new media, you can still be liable for defamation, cyberstalking, harassment, etc., just like Milagro. New media didn't do nothing for her, girl. She got to pay this lady all these damn attorney fees on top of a $59,000 tab that only the new media title shaved off. And that was only because Meg's team didn't know she was considered media. Therefore, she didn't get a cease and desist. But in the grand scheme of things, girl, it did not help Milagro, and it only helped to make what content creators do even harder, because most pop culture commentators love leading from their feelings, love leading from their thoughts, don't give a actually about the damn facts in the case, don't give a damn about none of that. So now, girl, in Florida, not in the United States, this does not apply universally. This does not apply under federal rule. Only in the state of Florida does any commentating motherfucker who commentates a little bit about this and a little bit about that can be considered new media. And the only thing that it puts you in a position to have as a bonus is a bitch sending you a cease and desist before they in fact pull the motherfucking Uzi. Lil Vert on you, girl. Before they Uzi the fuck out on you. So what's interesting about this, right, is that what Milagro lost actually did, and what this jury actually did, is that they now created they end up creating a case law now that other public figures can use, right, even outside of the state of Florida. That's why when we are reading like lawsuits, y'all will see 50,011 references to case law, case law, case law, case law, case law. When lawyers are arguing why something should be applied here, like why this should be applied, why this should be applied, because it was applied in case law here, 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 and here. There are other precedences that this exists within the court of law in other cases. So now what Milagro's L did and what the jury did by finding her to be new media or to be considered media in the state of Florida is it allows any other public figure now, like a Cardi B and anybody else who got a problem with a bitch spreading misinformation, to be able to sue and then use this lawsuit from Megan to Milagro as a case reference. That makes this worse for content creators who don't want to have to give a damn about facts. Yeah, those public figures can say, girl, look, yeah, well, so-and-so can be considered media. So-and-so can be considered media. So-and-so can be considered media. And therefore, they should have had to rise to the ethical standard of being responsible in their speaking, being responsible in their reporting, finding the facts, looking for the facts, and being non-biased in the situation, blah, 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 blah. The bitch actually just put everybody to work, which means that even people like her won't even be able to no longer get away with doing what even she does. Because as it was proved against her in this lawsuit, all you were was a conspiracy theory spinning weirdo. Broke and in the dark in a big ass pamper, harassing and cyber stalking people who are more successful than you, look better than you, exist better than you, switch and swag better than you, fuck on better than you, eat better than you, sit better than you, rise better than you, nap better than you, skip a loo better than you, socialize better than you, breathe better than you, heal better than you, love better than you, bob and weave better than you, make money better than you. Now she done alley-ooped her damn self. She out here thinking she putting the girls on the map, girl, when she just really put the girls to work, and she's made it even easier for the girls to be gooped by public figures, knowing that the girls like to run with their feelings over the facts. So now, girl, just this precedence in the law done really removed all the fun for it. All the fun out of it for the Trasher K's and the Jaguar Rights and the Barnyard Wiggins and the Milagro scams. That's all it done did, baby. All these girls who love their theories and their feelings, who love their thoughts over their facts, girl. Now, what has happened is this gets to now be case law. Yeah. Now the girls are going to have to actually operate like motherfucking journalists, ho. Something that they want all the clout and the glamour of the title without none of the work of that title. They want the shallow glamour of being considered media, not even realizing, girl, what this now fucking means, you big dummy. Now, if you like me and you love the facts, this is not going to affect content creators like myself, who love to go and cross-reference information, who love to get into the nooks and crevices, girl, get to the bottom line of shit, who love to look at boom, 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 boom. This ain't gonna hurt and hinder nobody like me. because I already taken upon myself to operate in that fashion to begin with. But for the rest of my peers, girl, and Milagro just put you to work, bitch. She just put you to work. She done round y'all up, girl. She done employed y'all, girl. Now it's got to be facts over feelings. And I don't understand. New media just took a big ass L because this bitch done deepened the responsibility that pop culture commentators have to now consider when they go to do what they do, now that there's a precedence in the law, even though this was a Florida-based case, but it goes into the bigger chambers of the law and can now be referenced accordingly, girl. And that's going to be fascinating. New media also got sued down to the ground, even with the new media badge. Bitch still owes the bitch $59,000 plus attorney fees. Are we okay? Girl, it's going to be more than $59K. Especially under a Trump administration, under inflation, a recession. Bitches ain't got they SNAP, they WIC, they EBT, they warm milk, girl. And she already had blew the crowdfunding situation, girl, earlier this year, girl, when there was all that controversy with her attorneys, you know, saying that they never received the payment and boom, boom, boom. And she out here buying 30-inch bust downs and out her going to Chris Brown concerts and everything is, baby. So I don't know how well she gonna do, baby, and even raising $59,000. But when that full summary judgment is dropped, which is going to be inclusive of those attorney fees from Mad Girl, she's going to be spending the rest of her life just like Trasha K Girl, running around thinking that she Martin Lawrence having to do stand-up OnlyFans content. Oh, yes, God. Now, let's move it along. Let's move it along, girl. So, now, new media who, on one hand, trying to get out here and be braggadocious, girl, as if they just took a win, is at the same time, girl, in Act 2 of the lawsuit, bitch, and grifting off of her supporters, girl. Who's in Act 2, girl, of the lawsuit, girl, grifting off of her supporters, is now trying to pass on her debt, girl, to her viewers, the way that Trump is trying to pass off these tariffs to American consumers. My God, today, girl. So while new media out here trying to brag on one hand, they out here having to beg and beg and beg and beg, girl, dry beg, panhandle their way, girl, out of this verdict, child. And another give, send, go, girl, is up on the books. Let's take a read, child. Let's take a motherfucking read, y'all, of what this give, send, go says, girl. Now, let's see how much she done raised. Okay, so she done raised. Okay, so the goal is $100,000. She done raised only a pinch of that, girl. Since by God today. So let's read it, girl. She's trying to raise $100,000. Now, why are you trying to raise $100,000 if you only owe the girl $59,000? Why you trying to, girl? See, now it's the thievery of it all. Why you got the goal set at $100,000, but you only owe $75K, but you was expecting to even owe less than that as a result of the defamation being dropped because of a technicality of not being given a cease and desist, even though you were found guilty of defamation per se. So why is there a $100,000 goal? Let me just show y'all this, girl. Yeah. Let me show y'all this. You only owe a bitch $59,000. And that ain't even plus, girl. She gonna have to up this motherfucking goal, girl, when them attorneys get done with those attorney fees. Y'all run the likes up. We need all the likes. Y'all see this? 100,000, 100K, 100K. Why? Oh, I forgot she got I forgot the girl got sanctioned, y'all. But we don't know what she got sanctioned. It never said what the sanction fee was. Has she been, what's the sanction fee? Does anybody know? Because I didn't see what the actual fee was, but she also got sanctioned because she had destroyed all that evidence in the case. So the judge found her in contempt of court because she went against court orders and she removed evidence that would have further incriminated her, even though they didn't even need all that because she was still found guilty on all 3 counts across the board. Did y'all see? Did they ever say what the sanction amount is? Because I don't think the sanction amount been determined yet. $100. I'm gonna have to go see. I don't think it's 100,000 because even Tori was only sanctioned with $20,000. I highly doubt that they sanctioned her 20,000. Yeah, it might have been something on the lower end. 5,000. Okay, no, it hasn't been determined. Okay, yeah. So I don't think it's been determined yet. But that's going to all be probably within the summary judgment. Because remember, there's a difference between the jury and the judge. The jury determined, $1,000 per se for defamation, $15K for punitive damages, blah, 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 blah. The judge has to deliberate because the judge, obviously, as a component of the law, she knows that, what this tab should look like and what should be considered reasonable. So she can escalate all of this. And if Megan's attorneys feel like the verdict reward is less than what's reasonable, they can also appeal. The judge, though, can go over the jury's head and rearrange these calculations so that they seem more appropriate. Right now, those attorney fees and all of the things are going in. And when we get the final judgment, which is why I don't even know why she's really like, Milagro is like moving too fast under the impression that this is over. This is not over, girl. You're not even waiting on your post-verdict convictions. You really don't even know what your tab is going to look like. That's why you should have shut your mouth before you jumped out of the window yesterday with no parachute on. That's exactly why you should have not even started a GoFundMe or any level of crowdfunding, girl, until you got all of the things. Why would you just be jumping out of the window when this thing is going up and has not had a period put on it? Big fucking weirdo. All right, so let's go and read, chill. In an era where legacy media gatekeepers decide what you see, hear, and think, a new generation of independent creators is breaking through, but independence comes at a cost. No, disseminating a deepfake AI video comes at a cost. No, cyber stalking comes at a cost, girl. Let's not act like you are in court being sued by a big wig, being sued by big bank because they had a problem with you pushing facts which weren't in support of their narrative. That's not what you got sued for. That's not what you took a major L across the board on. You were sued for cyber stalking and found guilty accordingly. You were found guilty of intentional infliction of distress and being malicious because you were the failed ass paid surrogate of another fucking loser. You were found liable for disseminating that deep fake AI video, etc. Girl, like, this is nothing to do with really media. This has to do with just like you abuse all those social media platforms, which is why they clipped your ass for years. You ended up abusing and weaponizing being a mediocre D- list public figure. You weaponized it. I just love the misrepresentation of what's happening here. And a new generation of independent creators is breaking through. But independence, not disseminating deep fake AI, not cyber stalking, cyber harassing, but independence comes at a cost. If you was independent, you would have operated independently of motherfucking Tory Lanez. You would have made sure to keep your integrity intact by not aligning solely with one side, and you should have been able to sit your biases aside to support the facts, even if the facts went against what you believe, because now that's going to be the ethical responsibility that you now have as somebody who's been determined by a Florida court, a Florida jury, to be media. No corporate ad dollars with strings attached, just raw determination and the support of people who believe information should be free, fearless, and in the hands of those who earn your trust every single day, which you are in fact not. Every dollar you give goes straight to the front lines of independent media. Oh, just like you did the last time, but your attorneys got out here on social media, girl, got out here in DMs saying that they never received the payment, girl. No middleman. Oh no, but Tory Lanez was your middleman. You wouldn't have been even in this shit had you not allowed yourself to link up with a middleman. You totally had a middleman. There was nothing independent about what you were doing, which is why those Zelle payments from Tory's team looked the way that they did. Which is why you was out here, girl, deleting several thousand exchanges between you and Miss Tory, girl. The bitch who had all the middleman talking about this is independent media, girl. Every single dollar you give, girls, goes straight to the front lines of independent media. No middleman, no agenda, no filter. Oh. No, she didn't. Not the filter queen, girl, talking about no filter. Not the bitch with a middleman and a handler and a pimp talking about, girl, independent pussy popping. My God, today, when you back new media, you're not just consuming content, you're conspiracy, you are defending news you can't use, you're defending lies and more lies, you are essentially supporting the damn Trump administration. Oh yes, you are defending the right to speak, you're defending the principle, the right to question, the right to know. Join the movement and fund the future. Wow. 34 people done gave. 9 people done prayed. 9 people done gave their prayers, girl. Raising $100,000 in Act 2, girl, of the lawsuit. I am effing hollering, girl. I'm hollering. Absolutely hollering. Now let's go over to the Bob, girl. B.O.B. So they calling you Bob. Stop playing, nigga. You know that I'm known for the Bob. Let's go over, girl, to Bob Kunis. Yes, girl, honey, she had to charge that Bob child and got into her journalist big. This morning on Miss Twitter, girl. Shout out to my baby mama Tara. Thanks for the last, baby. Thank you so much, baby. Woo, child. Y'all know all the donation. Let me put my link up, girl. Let me put my go and sin up, because I'm out here actually working. Okay? The king is working, girl. Y'all can always bless the king, girl. $ Consciouztv and or paypal.me/Consciouztv, girl. Yeah. And that's conscious with a Z if you're nasty. Oh, yes, it is. Let me give y'all time, girl, to read that before I take it down. Yes, honey. The CTV is actually working, girl. Lining the facts up, since apparently I'm new media. Girl, having to be accurate and precise, girl. Okay, since Milagro thought she was giving us a win when a bitch just done deepened our damn work, girl. Sorry, I had to quench my thirst, child. All right, girl, let's get into the Bob, girl. So the Bob said 2 hours ago, Judge, girl, I love saying the judge's name, girl. Antanuda, girl. The judge Antanuda had entered final judgment for Megan Thee Stallion against Milagro, tossing the defamation claim because Milagro was ruled a media defendant and Megan's lawyers never notified her before suing the shit out of her. Damages are now $59,000 and Milagro could soon be ordered to stop motherfucking talking because that gag order is coming. Remember when me and Pam, the Law Esquire girl, shout out to Pam, make sure you guys subscribe to my girl. We was talking about the gag order. So now we got further clarification because you remember y'all was asking if the gag order on Milagro was still in place following the verdict. So apparently it expired. It was a gag order just through the trial. But now that the horse is out of the reins and off the leash, girl, Meg gonna need that gag order like she needed it for Tory girl, who's still gagged up behind bars, girl. I'm screaming. She wanna have him and his paid surrogate twinning, girl, okay? Meg is going for his and hers restraining orders, girl. His and hers gag orders, girl. His and hers orange jumpsuits, girl. Okay, since you needed that, girl. Since you needed her sloppy seconds like that, girl. She wants you to have them, girl. Okay? She want to make you the first lady of the Lane's estate, girl. Okay? So, twinning gag orders, twinning suits, girl. Twinning verdicts, girl. Since you needed my sloppy seconds, girl, let me go ahead and give you that. Have you run that? My God. So here is the ruling as it relates to the new media defamation situation. Okay, this is the judge's final judgment on this particular issue within the case. This cause came before the court. The jury tried December the 1st, blah, 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 blah. The issues having been duly tried, the jury rendered the verdict, finding defendant Milagro Cooper liable to plaintiff Megan Pete for defamation per se, intentional infliction and emotional distress, and promotion of an altered actual depiction in violation of section Florida statute. The jury also rendered its verdict as to defendant's media defendant status, finding that defendant should be treated as media defendant regarding the statement as issues. As a condition precedent to a defamation suit, Florida statutes requires a plaintiff to serve a media defendant with written notice specifying the alleged false or defamatory statements at least 5 days before filing a complaint. So once again, let's be clear, girl, because I want all of the conscious crew here to be able to take facts into other spaces that y'all are in. And when y'all see hoes misinformed, you know, the facts are, no, it's not that the defamation count was dropped because she didn't commit defamation. She did commit defamation. She was found guilty by a jury of committing defamation. She just got off on a technicality. Guilty of defamation, but defamation dropped because of a technicality, because of a logistics. Okay? The jury's conclusion that defendant is a media defendant therefore precludes judgment for plaintiff on the defamation per se claim because it is uncontested that plaintiff did not provide defendant pre-suit notice. Okay? And case law here. Okay? So, see, this is the case law I was telling y'all about. All these case laws, this is what the courts use. Okay? To make it make sense to the parties involved and that there's a precedence for da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay? So now because of this win on Megan's behalf and her and Milagro being deemed new media girl, other public figures now get to hold content creators accountable, commentators particularly accountable, girl, for the way they go about commentating, because this now too can be referenced in case law. In sum, the jury's verdict supports entry of judgment for a plaintiff on her claims of intentional infliction of distress and promotion of an altered sexual depiction, girl. So the judge now is going to have to rule, or we're gonna come back at a later date and see an update on this cost, which is going to escalate from $59,000 since Milagro was also found guilty of spreading and disseminating the deep fake, which, according to Florida statute, requires those attorney fees to be paid the fuck up. So We're going to see a gross escalation, girl. Like, elevator going to go from the bottom all the way to the top, girl. That's going to be a mess. That's going to be a mess, y'all. In some, the jury's verdict supports entry of judgment for plaintiff on her claims of intentional infliction of emotional distress and promotion of an altered actual depiction. Plaintiff is entitled to $59,000 in damages, the amount of compensatory and punitive damages awarded by jury on those two claims, all right? Baby, I can't wait to get to the attorney fees. Let me tell y'all why I do not feel sorry for scams. Because like Pam said, the reality is Megan Teen should have really hired. She could have hired who she wanted to hire, but I feel like she really should have hired some Black attorneys, because even the judge had a hard time understanding Milagro's ebonics. Girl, when they had to play them fishing heads and all that stuff back, girl, the judge thought Milagro was speaking in Spanish 2.0, girl. She didn't know what type of hooting and hollering this was, girl. It was not translating for her and her coordinator, girl, okay? So I feel like Megan should have hired Black folk for one. Because, you know, we understand the ins and outs of the bullshit. And then those attorneys should have really outsourced from social media. Now, I will say Megan's team did kind of do that, because they were contacting YouTubers, like I told you guys in the beginning. They were contacting Twitter creators. They were contacting station head creators. They were trying to get to the tea. They were trying to find the tea, okay? But you know, some of us who've been following this shit and are more aware of the situation, we had better receipts and better arguments for this case than Megan's team does. I'm glad Megan's team still served it up, but at the same time, they also did drop the ball by not go ahead and making sure to just send old girl a cease and desist, just period. Rather, you know, especially if they didn't know whether she would swing as media or not, just send a cease and desist as a courtesy call. Like, it's important to do that, so that you just don't have to have these technical issues in the situation. I feel like also, because now we're going to get to the criticism of Meg's team. They had a lot of potential to do a lot of shit. And maybe they will, since they apparently are going to go up for a gag order as well. It might be that they also may request that this bitch be banished from social media, but that probably will be hard to do since she's actually considered media. But she also has been found guilty of harming another person flagrantly, explicitly, blatantly, objectively as media. And she's done that by utilizing the particular mobility of being a digital creator, aka an online personality. All the proper language is already being used to banish and bash her ass to the depths of hell, girl, such as cyber. But I don't know whether those type of requests come in the beginning or come at the end when you have been successful. Now your attorneys get to go back in with motions and requests, whether that be gag orders, restraining orders, whether that be requests that the defendant be penalized for a few months or for a few years or permanently, because that has happened on the internet. There have been content creators who have had their online privileges vanquished, completely disintegrated or gone. There have been content creators. Hold on, y'all. This is one of my niggas. Hi. I'm loud, live, and in color, serving it up to the conscious crew. Yes, I'm in my persona. But I will be calling you back because I hope you do you know what today is? Today is Tuesday. And guess what you agreed to do on Tuesday? Ooh, 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 ah, ooh, ah. So you get your mind right. Cause no, they can't hear you, but they can hear me. I told you I was gonna write it on the bulletin. I told you I was gonna schedule it in. I told you that. So I'm gonna need you to get your mind right, cause I'm gonna need that. You're gonna have to run me that. I'm gonna need all of that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna call you back. You get right in the meantime. Okay. All right. Bye. Girl, you gotta get with people, girl. You gotta be with people who can fall in love with every last single one of your personalities, bitch. Okay. You gotta be with a motherfucker, girl, who can gather and love all of your personalities, girl. Yes, God. Now where were we? What were we talking about? What were we talking about, y'all? I forgot where I was before I was unrudely interrupted. Where? Lipsky, don't be doing no affirmation, okay? Where was we? What were we talking about? Where was I, girl? Oh, the dropping the ball, girl. The dropping the ball. So, I guess it's yet to be seen because we might see them lawyers, girl, request, girl, that this whole be gone. Especially since her and her team, literally following the verdict, got out here on social media, girl, and spread more misinformation. That just proves Megan's point, which means that more than likely a gag order is going to be granted. I mean, if a judge granted a gag order by a man behind bars, then how much more is Miss Scams going to be liable and qualified for a gag order when literally her and her team got out here, girl, and spread this information that the judge had ruled and boom, boom, blah, 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 and da-da-da-da-da. So the gag order probably going to be accomplished. And we're going to see what they're going to do as it relates to vanquishing this bitch from social media, girl. The girl got some things to worry about, including this profound escalation of this 59 case and some attorney fees under Florida law. She gonna have to run her that. Girl. What else do I have critical? Okay, I feel like they could have did better in running the cyber, and they could have, I feel like Megan's team could have did better if the plan is to request that Milagro is vanquished from the internet, which I feel like she needs to be. Like, what Milagro does is nothing. Milagro uses her platform to literally abuse people with lies and facts, girl. We have seen the receipts, girl, of the corn bombing. We know that she scrubs her platform of incriminating things. She's currently being sued, girl, for doing the same thing to 2 other people that she did to Megan. And because Megan was successful, Antonio and Jordan, who are the plaintiffs in a civil lawsuit against Gramz right now, more than likely are going to be successful, especially since Milagro was dumb enough to put all the fucking evidence out that incriminates her like a big dumbass. And she has all of the current supporters and ex-supporters out here literally saying that, yes, they were drunk, which is to their point. Because under Texas law, somebody who is drunk cannot consent to a sexual experience. Therefore, it can be considered rape, which is what they're considering it. So that's a whole situation in and of itself, girl. And I really feel like that's why she got that $100,000 on this $59,000 tab is because, girl, she's trying to have some remaining coin left over to finish litigating, girl, because she's going to be doing going sins and goes, bitch, all motherfucking year long, girl, since the lawsuits just keep lawing. Okay? The lawsuits keep lawing, girl. Okay? Yes, New Media was started by Jason Lee. So let's read the rest of this, shall. Accordingly, it is ordered and adjudged as follows. In favor of Megan, of course, count 2 and count 3 of her second amended complaint against defendant. Plaintiff shall recover a total of $59,000 in damages. Request for costs and fees shall not be submitted until after post-trial motions are decided or appeal is concluded, whichever occurs later. So once again, we have post-verdict convictions that are coming down the pipeline. This is not over. This $59,000 is just for the count she was found guilty on. The rest of the fees, the rest of the attorney fees, all of that will be coming at a later date. Okay. The court retains jurisdiction to entertain the request for injunctive relief. Oh, girl, more coin is coming, girl. Girl, y'all spoke too soon, girl, who was just like, 59,000, only 59,000. Oh, no, baby, it's not only 59,000. No, DJ Academics, it's not just 75,000, baby. Y'all better read the paperwork. You better get into the black and white, as Megan said, bitch. Y'all hoes need to learn how to read. Megan said, girl, it's clear who didn't pass 5th grade. It's clear who's not smarter than a 5th grader, girl. So even though, you know, there are some things that I felt like Meg's team could have came harder on because the case was really open and shut. Milagro is a liar. Milagro is an abuser. That's now factual because we can factually say that as a result of her ass being factually guilty of intentional infliction of harm. That's what that means, is that this bitch is a predator. That's what this means. Is that this bitch is evil, maniacal, and diabolical. Now, that can be factually assumed, factually understood to be the case, because she legally was found to be just that in the court of legal. Okay, my boo Latte Way sent me. Thank you for the Dance Music Child Support chat. If I change my first name so I don't confuse you. Okay, boo. Thank you, baby, because YouTube done switched up everybody's shit up on her. Thank you, and God bless you, honey. Y'all know all of the King's donation links are right here up on the screen, and I am about to drop the link because I know you guys probably been itching to pop the hell off. Let's see what else Megan Kuna got to say. Then we're going to go to a snippet of an interview that Milagro did, and then I'm going to drop the link. Okay. Damages are not $59K. Milagro could soon be ordered to stop talking about Meg, and she will be. Plaintiff shall recover from defendant a total $59K, and damages to court retains jurisdiction. All right, so boom. This judge is running the show, girl. Okay, what she says, the goes. Okay, she regulating and percolating. She didn't have no problem agreeing with the. You know what's so funny now that I think about it, girl? The judge also did Megan Thee Stallion a favor by agreeing with the jury that Milagro should be considered new media, because as a result, this forces Milagro to also have to be ethical in her reporting and commentating. That's why it's so goofy that Milagro is thinking she's one bitch when really it stopped you from being able to do what you've been doing for years against people like Megan Thee Stallion. So the judge agreeing with the jury really helps Megan because it revs up the standards for commentators so that they can't do this to public figures. They can't just get carried away and say anything out of their motherfucking mouth. They can't just lead from their biases and be sensational and provocative, etc. So she really did her big one for public figures, because this really helped to protect them, and she rev up the standard for commentators. And now there's going to be a case law precedence within the legal system that allows other public figures who want to take a bitch where they don't want to go, like Meg did to Milagro, to be able to do this to other commentators who are out there huffing and puffing, baby, trying to blow the motherfucking house down. And the only thing I got to do by law is send you hoes a cease and desist. And I can still go forward and sue you, bitch. A cease and desist don't keep me from suing you, girl. It's just a part of the protocol. And you still can be considered, girl, liable for all counts, just like Milagro is, despite being considered new media. Okay? So we're going to be waiting on that gag order. We're going to be waiting on post-conviction updates. We're going to be seeing, what Meg's team is going to be appealing, if Milagro's team is going to work any further, especially since, girl, they were working apparently for free up to this point, girl. So I highly doubt that they're going to be too motherfucking active. They may be active just for the clout of it all, because this is a celebrity, so they might just want the proximity to the case due to it being a high-profile case. But technically, girl, we may not see much out of them, girl, since they done had to slave away over the holidays for free for this bitch, and she ain't even gift them with a turkey. Okay, girl, she ain't even gift them with a turkey, girl. Did you even gift your people with a ham, girl? After they done had to give up Thanksgiving and all of this stuff to deal with the stress, child, of having you help them to lose. Now they also got this under their belt as losers. They got this under their reputation, girl. That's not good for them. Did she even bless them with a baked ham? Did she or did she not? So this is a snippet from my boy, TV. Make sure you guys subscribe to him on Twitter at Rick Jarre, and on YouTube as TV. He posted an excerpt from an interview that Milagro did, Grill, of her talking in riddles, bitch. Okay? Talking in parables and things. Check this out.
Lawsuit, Milagro Cooper, the blogger accused of posting a sexually explicit deepfake video of the rapper, is talking only to CBS News Miami. Our Yvonne Taylor joins us now with some of their conversations. This was a big get, Yvonne.
Thank you, Naja. It's actually indeed a very interesting conversation, and we're going to start by the fact that which one is the inevitable big question that we have to ask the Texas blogger Milagro Cooper? Because let's remember, this is what this trial was all about. As of October, there is a law in Florida which it allows people whose images are manipulated as an AI false pornographic video a way to sue whoever did that in court. That person was Milagro Cooper, a blogger considered by jurors as a media defendant. Today, she spoke with CBS News Miami before leaving South Florida. And the day after, everybody wants to know, do you regret what you did? And answers to the why about the deepfake video, which Megan Pete, the rapper's real name, decided to take this woman to.
Oh, I done fucked up trying to zoom the damn TV in. Hold on. I mean the screen in. Hold on, y'all. Might be it. Hold on. Let me get this back up for y'all, child. Trying to do the mouse. Okay, hold on. Let me just have it like this.
Video, a way to sue whoever did that in court. That person was Milagro Cooper, a blogger considered by jurors as a media defendant. Today, she spoke with CBS News Miami before leaving South Florida. And the day after, everybody wants to know, do you regret what you did? And answers to the why about the deepfake video, which Megan Pete, the rapper's real name, decided to take this woman to court. Did you know it was an AI fake video?
Absolutely not.
She did, and we played the video. Like, the girl is just literally a pathological video. We played the literal audio of her saying, because people in her station head was like, girl, is this real? Is this real? Is this real? Is this real? She was like, no, I don't think this is real. I don't think it's real. But she went forth and promoted it anyway. That's why when her fans were over here talking about, well, she said it wasn't real. She said she didn't believe it was real. And I was saying, well, she's not sued based upon whether she believes it was real. She sued for disseminating what was, in fact, a deep fake. The allegation and count wasn't whether she believed it was. The count was that she disseminated it. Whether she believed it or not would not have made a difference. So the fact that she done, once again, girl, as media, got in front of media, girl. They should have gave that bitch a Bible to stand on. You could tell that she also is, she knows she lying, girl, which is why she breathing real slow. She talking real intentionally, girl. And for y'all saying she look good, yes, girl, this is what several layers of Maybelline look like, baby. Okay, girl, because when you got to step out of that house without that filter, baby, you got to be caked up, girl. Okay, girl, you got to be caked up. Also, you can still see the bags, too. Remember, girl, she was looking like Baggiana? You can still see the bags, child. Look at how dark these areas are. Look at how thick and dark they is. Poor thing. She ain't know whether she was going to survive. Bitch, you haven't survived, girl. This is post-mortem. This is post-mortem behavior, girl, okay? She don't even know that she's a spirit now. She's a spirit in the afterlife, baby. She's having an afterlife experience, girl. An after-death experience, baby. You didn't make it, sugar. You didn't make it.
Absolutely not.
And why did you spread it?
Lie one.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And why did you spread it?
I think that's a tricky question because
That ain't no damn a tricky question.
some misconceptions about what actually happened.
Ooh, child.
I did say go to my likes, and I did speak about it.
Did you not know this could harm her?
Did I personally think that this would cause her to feel those ways? Absolutely not.
So the outcome of the case
just delusional, girl. The girl was in a whole cabal with a nigga for $3,000 over a 3-year period, girl. Under the guise that if she were a part of his team, that if she also helped, to do Megan in, girl, that she would be given podcasts and interviews that never happened, shows that never came, money that never came, dick that never came. My God, today. Just lying and lying and lying. No, I didn't know it was fake when we got literally the fucking audio of you saying, girl, that you didn't believe that the shit was real, but you did it anyway, which is why the jury found your ass maliciously guilty of disseminating that motherfucking shit against that damn lady's damn mental health, bitch. And you walking up out of the motherfucking courtroom owing that lady $59,000 plus motherfucking attorney fees under the same Florida motherfucking law, bitch, that also deemed you as new media, deemed your ass as responsible, girl, for hundreds of thousands of dollars of motherfucking court fees, bitch. And you could be running up that lady pockets, girl, while she out here buying homes with her biracial ass nigga, bitch, sitting motherfucking curbside and motherfucking games and shit, bitch, riding good dick, making good money, hoe. Good lie. Good lie. Good lie.
Milagro Cooper is important. Did you know it was an AI fake video?
Absolutely not.
Girl, how you got paid $3,000 only for Megan to convert that into you having to pay her $59,000 out of that? Girl, how you did this for $3,000 and making you pay her $59,000 out of that $3,000? Girl, dizzled and dazzled. Dizzy and dazzled, girl. How you did it for $3,000 and Megan making you pay her $59,000 plus. Now she out here dizzied and dazzled, girl. My God.
And why did you spread it?
I think that's a tricky question because I think there are misconceptions about what actually happened. I did say go to my likes, and I did speak about it.
Did you not know this could harm her?
Did I personally think that this would cause her to feel those ways? Absolutely not.
Yeah, that explains deleting several thousand correspondences between her and Tory Lanez and the Pappy. That explains, right, why you were receiving monetary gain for somebody else who was found guilty of explicitly harming this motherfucking lady. Okay? The fact that you never told her side, you never cared about her side, you only punched holes in her side in order to give leverage to Tory Lanez, but you weren't biased, nor complicit, nor malicious, where a jury said otherwise. A jury said that you did, in fact, factually inflict intentional distress. So you would have did one better being able to have this argument had you at least told both sides. You didn't tell both sides, blatantly ignored the facts, blatantly misrepresented the facts, lied about the facts, even had LAPD out here, girl, having to give statements like, bitch, we do have the gun. What are you talking about? No, you didn't see the gun in question in court because, bitch, guns are not present in court. We don't literally lay down the gun on the exhibit table. How historically pictures are represented. Girl, only in rare cases has the physical GUN had to be present in the courthouse, girl. We have the gun. It's in locker 17, Miss Mamas. Then Miss Mama had to get out here as new media girl and correct it on Twitter. I want to come to you guys informally, state that I was misinformed about, the gun being missing. It has been said and discovered and stated that the LAPD, in fact, does have the gun in question. It was just not present at trial because Oh, baby, see, y'all won't be able to get away with being on this type of time no more, baby. Thanks to you. Thanks to you, girl, we won't be able to get out here, girl, and spread misinformation, will we? Thanks to you, girl. Thanks to the state of Florida, girl. Thanks to a jury who ruled that you're a media girl. We're going to have to call LAPD before we say that there's no guns now, are we? We're going to have to work, girl. We're going to have to put that dial pad to use now. Thanks to you. Miss Media. My God. All right, let's drop the link, child, in case any of you guys want to pop off. Shout out to my baby mama Opinionated for the dance and Mr. Child Support Chat. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for thanking me for all that I do, because I do it for you, Opinionated. Thank you, baby. My God, today, girl, Opinionated put her foot in that donation, bitch. Y'all been showing out, girl. Y'all been showing out with the donations, girl. Shout out to the Conscious crew, baby. All donation information is in the description box below. I love you. Oh, I love it. All right, this is the part, girl, where we're going to let the Conscious crew come in and get up in her. And we don't got long, y'all, because I gotta get to some things, honey. I gotta get to some things in my personal life. Oh, yes, I do. But I just dropped the link. If y'all want to come up, please pop all the way off, honey. Get into your bag. Oh, yes. Hey, Todd.
How's it going? Now, I have a question about the cyber stalking, right? Is that dismissed with prejudice, or can Meg come back with another lawsuit for that?
I have not seen the paperwork, but I'm going to see the paperwork and come back. I don't know if it's been dismissed with prejudice or not.
Because I would have never dropped that. I would have ran that directly into the ground. I would have ran all kinds of races with that one, okay? Because she got lucky. She got lucky that was dropped. But I'm wondering if Meg can come back now that Milagro is out here doing a little bit of talking. And the next question I like to ask is this. Is them attorney fees like $2 million? Because that's what I'm looking at. Good Lord, have mercy. That's steep. You know what I mean? That's pretty steep.
It's deep. Yeah. And Megan may circle the block, girl. She wants blood out of Milagro, honey. So as Meg said, I don't know why y'all keep bringing up other people, because this is just the beginning of the end, baby. Y'all up here talking about I'm not why I ain't sued DJ Academics, why I ain't sued this. Who said I'm not? Who said I'm not? So because of all of this now post litigating that's going to go on, we're going to be able to see, just how far Meg's team pressed the gas. And I think that they probably have even more fire under their ass, given that Milagro's team got out here and spread misinformation about what the jury said, how the judge had ruled, when in fact some of that had not even happened. I think that they really understand, we're really going to have to really, really, really go in. This girl really doesn't get it. She doesn't get it at all. So I think that we're going to see a aggressive post-verdict litigation from Meg's team. And I think it's going to be nasty.
I think so as well. I also researched the fact that no, they said Milagro Gramz is not directly responsible for that $240,000 tab for her treatment. You know, in terms of her, you know, her mental anguish. But my God, that $2 million in attorney fees. Whew,
And we don't.
whew.
Here's the thing: we really don't know that yet because the judge really decides what's happened. I looked it up. Even though the jury rewarded her $75K, the judge can escalate this. She can escalate this beyond the beyond. So we're not done yet.
And that's exactly what I was just about to say, because the judge can overrule. So the jury decided whatever they decided, the amount of $75K, it got reduced to $59K allegedly. But the thing is, the judge can only change the jury's ruling as far as monetary amount. The judge cannot change a guilty verdict.
Yeah.
So she's going to remain guilty. The judge can help her as far as like the monetary amount. And you guys have to remember, because part of these proceedings are discovery. Part of discovery is you have to turn over financial records. The judge is going to go through your banking and your accounts and things like that. If you cannot afford to pay Meg, who's worth millions and millions, the judge is not going to rule that, you know, that you owe that if you don't make that. And so she really, I think what this exposed for me, in my opinion, is that Milagro is broke. Well, let me not say broke because I mean,
no.
She was negative $10,000 in the hole. She broke.
Let me not say broke.
You can say broke because she said on the stand that she's $10K in the hole. She's in mounting debt and that she's been struggling to pay. I mean, just to feed her children. So yes, broke.
But man, that
yes,
what they call that law?
It's like whenever, and I apologize, I'll let the next person speak as well. But the thing is, whenever she appeals her ruling, which I think she'll do, since she doesn't have the money to pay the judgment, I think she'll appeal. I don't know if Milagro understands that Megan's lawyers can still show up at the appeal. They have the right to be at the appeal hearing. And so the appeal will ultimately cost her more if she loses. And if you lose an appeal, the judge really can't help you with that as far as like monetary or financial. Like you might as well just take this and call it a day, because if you appeal it, the amount is just going to keep going up. And that's all I have.
So like one question with these fee shifting statutes, right? That says that the loser has to pay the attorney fees. That's an automatic. They automatically said that, right? I just want to make sure that that's automatically said, right? So there's no what they call an American rule where everybody pays their own attorney fees. That's something that the judge explicitly has said, right?
Attorney fees are not automatic. It has to be ordered by the court. So it's not automatic.
Well, it's automatic in this case.
This case, right. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh,
right.
In this case. Okay.
As Megan's team has said here, that under Florida law.
Woo, my God. Woo.
As a result
Florida,
of that,
the craziest people in the world in Florida.
Yes, they are.
So here it is. Here it is. Just for the information purposes. We are thankful for the jury's commitment to reinforcing the importance of truth, accountability, and responsible commentary on social media. Megan's attorney, Maury Henderson, said not only is Milagro being held accountable for paying Megan compensatory and punitive damages, but Florida's fee-shifting legal provision will require her to cover costs of Megan's legal bills on the deepfake claim. This verdict sends a clear message that spreading dangerous misinformation carries significant consequences. And it also says that additionally, under Florida law, Milagro's liability for reposting the deepfake pornographic video will also require her to reimburse Megan for legal fees. Yeah, she's going to get caught in the thing when it comes to them legal fees, that attorney and paying them attorneys.
That's
Which is
2
why
million.
so many
Ooh,
people who keep talking about, oh, she only got 59,000. It's like, don't count your chickens before they hatch now.
That part.
But I saw something really interesting. It was a comment somebody left. They said the long play is keeping Tory locked up. Now that a jury has sided with Meg and she has proven that he was using Milagro and others as a mouthpiece, they can use this if he ever has the chance of early release or staying in this country upon release. He continually harassed her during the trial and after. Milagro was just a useful tool for everyone involved. This was a continuation of the Lange trial, and it was a definite win for Megan. What y'all think about that?
I like it. I just don't understand why they dropped the cyber stalking in
I
lieu
don't
of that.
know why he's not back in Canada. Isn't he supposed to be deported?
After them 10 years, I would imagine.
Yeah,
I
You gotta
think
do them 10
Canada don't
years
even
first.
want him.
yeah, he's supposed to be out of here upon his
Yes. Can we do one thing for the people in the back CT? Can we actually read the definition of defamation to people?
yes. Let me
And
pull
I'm
it up.
saying that I'm asking because there are so many uneducated people who do not understand why what Milagro did is wrong. So, just so you all know, and they teach us this. See, when I went to Winston State University and got my degree in psychology with a minor in journalism, they teach you the definition and how to avoid these type of things. And I hope Braylon came up here too, because I know Braylon said
Oh,
he was
yes, I
coming.
am. But you also have
Are
to
you up here?
recognize not everybody shows up for class, child, as we conclude.
That is true. And so, just so you all know, here it is, so you all can understand, because saying that, oh, I'm being sued because I don't like somebody, that is a lie, and we all know that. The fact that grown adults come into this comment section and come to these channels knowing that what Milagro was doing to Meg, none of us want that to happen to us. Nobody wants that to be done to them. Nobody wants to be lied on. Nobody wants anyone playing in their trauma. Okay? So, defamation is the act of making false statements about a person that harms their reputation, exposes them to public scorn, hatred, or contempt, or discourages others from associating with them. It is the overarching, right? I don't have my glasses on, y'all. Legal term for a defamatory statement, which can take two forms. Libel, which is written, broadcast, or published, is a non-transitory form, in slander, oral. Okay? So if you all didn't think of the things that she has done, Milagro has showed all of that. Hatred. The way I still have the picture of her when she held up a sticky note saying F Megan last year. That girl does not know her. Do you all not understand how creepy it is to have a person obsessed over your life and they do not know you? So I need these fools to stop coming to these comments trying to normalize this dysfunctional ghetto trash behavior. It's disgusting.
And then
she
when
looks
you
like
stick to literally what she
one
did,
second, y'all, and I'm gonna land this real quick. She looks like a creepy person. I wouldn't trust my dog around that girl because she lies without thinking. She just does stuff and she never thinks about the consequences of her actions. She is almost 40 years old, and to have that lack of self-awareness is an embarrassment. There is no win for her. What did she win? She says she's 10K in the hole. Food is being taken out her kid's mouth that she didn't even care about, because if she cared, she would have shut up and stopped. I land there.
And I'll add to what you said, because her hatred was next level. Because in some of the commentary she did on her live, Milagro saw when Megan was like in the depth of after being shot and after going through everything she was going through from that. Megan was on live upset, and of course, like how anyone would feel. Milagro, I remember she made a post on her channel while playing Megan's live while Megan was upset, and she said, okay, well, if you want to die, then bitch die. And
so I want to say something about
it's interesting.
Sweetheart, wait 1 second.
And then
Allow
it's interesting.
what's her name?
It's interesting
I'm
because
sorry.
after it's interesting because after Milagro said, okay, then bitch die, Milagro, when she was in the depth of being sued, she was crying on live, crying on Instagram, crying on
I heard
YouTube,
all of it.
and saying, you guys, and she was doing the same thing Meg did, but she had no mercy for Meg. And so that's when the hatred, that's when I at least saw like the hatred in her. But I'll let the next person speak. I apologize for cutting you off.
Opinionated. Hey, boo.
Hey,
Just opinionated from Clubhouse.
Yes, baby.
Hey, girl. Hey. Okay, I'm
How
going to
you
mute. I just had to say
doing?
hey to her. I love her.
I love you too. You know, before I came to Clubhouse, and the reason why I went to Clubhouse is because I dealt with a lot of stuff from Milagro, and I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. That woman is vile, evil, and just all out wrong. Me not having a dog in a fight, just modding for her every day on every single platform she had, sitting up there listening to it, but just modding, not commenting, not saying nothing, just posting her stuff. I was her mod. And I had COVID. I caught COVID on my birthday. And I'm not gonna make it long, Conscious, but it just it kind of parallels what she did to this woman. You know what I'm saying? And I never got to speak on it because one of her people came up here and kind of me and her got into it.
I remember that.
What happened, right? But that lady took and wished death on me and told me I should die while I was in a hospital with COVID, all because I wouldn't pick a side between her and Tasha K. And Tasha K, I was also mindful. Tasha K never intertwined the two, and now I understand why y'all don't like people, your minds minding for different people. I understand that. But at the same time, if I'm just posting your information, ain't speaking on nobody, ain't putting nothing, don't put me in y'all mess. And at the time, she was beefing with Tasha. And because I wouldn't pick Tasha, I wouldn't pick between her and Tasha and pick a side while she was sitting up there crying on Twitch because Tory had just dropped his album and she was crying because she felt so sorry for him. After he had to shot Megan at 1:00 in the morning. That lady was deaf on me and I was in the hospital and told me to fucking die. And I still got the station here on Christmas Eve day. All because I wouldn't say, Milagro, okay, I'm going to pick you over Tasha K. I was suffering with COVID.
Well, let me say this too. First
So,
of
hold
all,
on.
sorry, Conscious.
For 1 second, boo. I just want to say, well, you must feel pretty vindicated then, opinionated, to see her being held accountable. Because a lot of y'all can live vicariously now through what Megan has done. I mean, this lawsuit even activated a
I'm in tears, Conscious, because I almost lost my fucking life.
And she got to see you live.
She ain't made it no better. And then she had all them people all on my Instagram, all on my family's Instagrams looking to just put stupid shit to troll me because I wouldn't pick her over Tasha K.
Grown people bullying grown. These are adult children. Grown.
So I hope Meg's team finish sticking it to her. Because you wrong and you silly and you petty and you too old for that shit. You a mother.
Yeah, and she a grown woman.
She too old for that. It's embarrassing. And to see grown people to sit there and try to justify her behavior,
try to trigger nobody,
it's not cool.
But I had to finally speak my truth. And thank you, Conscious.
No, but I already know your story because you have told it here on this platform, and this is exactly why I know that this win was needed because it's also bigger than Milagro. I mean, it's bigger than Megan. Milagro has hurt a lot of people. That's why she's in a current lawsuit with 2X subbies for the same harm for the same perpetual harm. And so all of this bad karma that she's getting right now, she's deserving, because what she did to Megan, she did to Opinionated, she did to Antonio, she did to Jordan, she's done to so many individuals.
Walker victims.
And then she asked for help and for love and for kindness and for support for herself. But that's not how that works. That's a narcissist.
Correct.
Exactly.
That's a psychopath.
She's a psychopath, because why is it that Megan couldn't have grace to sit here and act like Meg was not the victim? She was. She didn't do anything wrong. Arguing with a dude, that ain't wrong. He's the one that picked up that weapon. He's the one that fired it. And to sit here and disregard other women, Black women, with all the things against us, the world against us, people already not want to believe us, and you sat there and you helped this man who is known to be violent play with his victim. These sociopaths linked up and thought it was cool to play in the trauma, and wondering why they can't win appeals, wondering why they going through what they going through, then got the nerve to call on God when you've done nothing but spit in God's face. You don't get to play with God like that.
And can I say something in regards to that real quick?
As soon as you get finished, Boo, I want my boy in here to be able to get in too.
Okay.
But hey, Queen, yes.
I was just gonna say hello, panel. Hey, everybody. I'll be real quick. So I just want to say this two things.
Hello.
I want us as a Black woman. I'm finna say this, and I don't care if anybody gets offended, but I want us to take out she did this to a Black woman out of it. And the reason why is because this is against womanhood, period. I want people to understand that she went
I agree.
against women. She went against women for a man she did not know, a man she was not related to, a man she had no ties to or any relationship with whatsoever. I want people to keep that clear. Then too, my other point real quick, I wanted to touch on the money issue, because I'm seeing people say, oh, well, it's just $59K. We don't know what the lawyers will tack on. I want people to say hello to interest. I want people to also take a look at Brene, Tim, and Akira's case, because Brene thought it was cute to just, I think she put like $2 towards the case. Well, guess how much interest she has already accrued in less than a month? $20K. Now, Milagro don't got it. Brene actually has a little coin. Milagro don't got it. So when it comes to the situation with what these lawyers are about to put in, every day this case is accruing interest. And once they tack on them lawyers' fees, the interest rate is going to become more. If y'all don't believe me, go and look at Tasha K when she talked about it. She said, I can't even afford the interest. So let's be very clear. Don't look at the $59K and say, oh, well, it's just that, or we don't know what the lawyers will put. Y'all better wake up and think about that interest that's about to hit Pretty Girl's account, because it ain't finna be cute. But those are the 2 points I wanted to make. I just want to touch on that. I'm very glad Megan won. Shout out to womanhood, period, because it was just disgusting to see her go this hard for a man that she did not know. And I'm all for, if a man ain't wrong, a man ain't wrong. I'm for right, period. But this was a case of her intentionally going against a woman because she felt like it. That's all.
Period. That's exactly what she did, because
she felt like it wanted to get picked.
What's the gentleman that was going to speak next? Is he still here?
Yes, I'm still here. Hi, everybody. Hopefully all is
Hey,
well. First of all, I just want to say to Rost 2508, just because nobody would cry for you and your tears does not mean you get to tell a grown-ass woman that she should stop crying, and to tell Conscious to take her off his platform. Just want to get that out the way first. Second thing, what this is reminding me of, because I'm a content creator myself with a media background with an applied communication degree from Kent State University.
Can you shout out your stuff first? So
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So my name is Braylon Lee. I have my own channel. I cover pop culture, entertainment, everything else. It's just Braylon Lee. So you'll see me with a Emmy in my hand, and it's called Braylon Lee's Virtual Tour. Right now I'm at very proud to say this number, 946,000 total views on the road to 1 million total views.
Yeah,
so put in the work.
Link.
Factually,
follow.
okay? Factual. Let's get that straight.
You're gonna have to bring me onto your platform since you over here on mine.
Conscious, you are more than welcome, friend. You are more than welcome.
Right.
I wanted to bring up something real quick. Yes. This is reminding me of Thanos. For those of you who don't know Thanos, watch the Dropout on Hulu. But basically, Elizabeth Holmes and this fake device. Now, there was Sonny Barbardi, who was I believe he was the chief financial officer of Thanos. And you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with Meghan? They brought up Sonny Barbardi's and Elizabeth Holmes' text messages.
I remember that whole case. Yep, Elizabeth Holmes and the Indian guy, her co-CEO or something.
Correct, Sonny Barbardi. And on top of that, they also had a PR person who was an investor, a part of Thanos going after everybody. So what this goes to show is whether you're black or white, shout out to Michael Jackson, you can get fucked up. And for everybody saying new media, this, that, and the third, what I would like for you to do, off what Milagro Gramz done, then come back and talk to us. Sincerely. If you really think you are that big, bad, and bold, go do what she did. And to hype yourself up, to say that you are new media, you do realize that for that lawsuit with Camp Mob, you know they could bring in that question of new media into that case, right? Because most celebrities don't really hang out with their fans. And then you say you're going to rap. So we know that you did. We know that you said you're going to go on the studio and take that aggression out because anywhere else is But if you do a rap that shades Meghan and Meghan pulls that rap up, then they could say that you're not new media. Do you understand that Meghan?
Yeah, and it's the equivalent.
And you the cat and you're the actor? Like
yes.
Child.
And I was going to say, it's the equivalent of CTV having a platform and he gets like a deep fake of any of us on the panel or anyone who follows his channel. Like he might get a deep fake and like might open it and look at it. But it's one thing to open it and look at it. It's another thing to share it with thousands of people.
Correct.
It's another thing to distribute it. And Milagro, the most expensive expense and judgment in the whole hearing was the deep fake. Everything else was punitive. The most expensive thing that she's paying for is that deep fake, because you cannot distribute images of a nude individual, nude person, whether it's real or not. You cannot distribute it to the masses. And the fact that this wasn't even real, like that's where she messed up.
Distribute it and then brag on it, knowing that by you posting it with your own words, it's gonna do numbers or it's gonna go up, as she said. That's why with that whole thing, when people, even herself, trying to say, oh no, I didn't promote it, I didn't distribute it, I didn't do this, you said out your mouth that once you posted or you told people to go to your likes, it was gonna jump up. So you right there are proving that you knew that you were gonna bring eyes to it. That's what promotion is.
Also proves to the malicious part of it too, because if you knew that it wasn't real, what would have been the only other motive you would have had in still disseminating something like that, unless it was to bring a person under humiliation?
Exactly.
You know it wasn't fake. You know it was fake. Like you know that it was fake, but because this was a raunchy scenario that showed somebody in a compromising position,
or because it was a fine bitch, because Meg is a fine bitch, so it was a fine girl, and then you just shared the picture.
It was a video.
But y'all know what? Given this next case that she about to walk into, they gonna look this up. You were found guilty of doing that, so now you're on the hook for also disseminating porn of your mob members. You're already been found guilty here about this, so they're probably gonna win that easy because you've already been found guilty of doing it before.
Yep.
And she needs to understand the responsibility that comes with calling yourself new media. In journalism classes, they teach you that your
Correct.
platform, your pen, your voice comes with social responsibility.
Absolutely.
Meaning that if somebody
Exactly.
reaches out to you and they say, that is not true, take that back. And you know you don't have the facts to show and stand that what they're saying is false or true, then you remove it. If they say, hey, don't do this, no one should have to take you into court to stop you from doing what she was doing. I don't think she understands how embarrassing, how she has humiliated herself to actual grown adults with common sense.
She
Absolutely.
don't. And the whole new media thing, like I've been saying to these people who think that's a win, girl, you just put yourself in a box because
Yeah.
now all the
Now
carriers
you're tied to a lot of things.
yeah, you can't you now you gotta watch, you really gotta watch what the fuck you say. And it's
You really
crazy
gotta
because
watch
when
it.
Conscious was reading how she was, spending that on her GoFundMe or that Give Send Go thing, it's like, girl, this new media title is finna restrict you. It's not finna give you the freedom that you had before this whole new media title thing. So how is
And
that
I,
a win?
and I wanted
She's
to bring
slow.
and I wanted to bring something up to that new media because I'm going to reference the name that Conscious said, Barnyard Wiggins. It was interesting that he was trying to fight for new media, but it's like, sir, weren't you on way up with Angela Yee, which is iHeartMedia, which is legacy media, and wasn't Tisha Tales on ABC News Live? So now, because legacy media is still the gateway to be able to have a name, they could go to this case and be like, well, Angela, for iHeartMedia, well, Angela, we know you are a monarch, cool. But based on this, we got to be a little bit more selective. To ABC News and ABC News Live and all, streaming, news platforms, we got to be a little bit more selective about content creators. So what you thought was a win for you with Angela Yee, now the goalpost has moved further for you to be able to have that platform on that big of a stage. But
did anyone catch or see the video? Because I don't have, I'm not following Milagro's new media. I follow the Shade Room on Instagram. The Shade Room posted the report of Megan winning, and then they posted also Milagro's statement after the lawsuit. And one of the things that stood out to me was Milagro said, I would like to thank my fans. Bitch, what fans? Where's the fans? Like, she really want to be Megan. She really want to fuck Tori like Megan did. She really want to have fans like Megan does.
But I'm
She
gonna tell
really
you
want to
why
have
she
money
also called
like
them
Megan
her
has.
fans following this verdict. She did that because she's also needing to love bomb them because she's going to pass on her debt to them the way that Trump passing on these tariff debts to America. So she had to
because
get
she
out
need the
there.
GoFundMe paid.
Because she got the GoFundMe up, so she got to big them up. She got to fluff their head up. She got to love bomb them so that opens up the sympathy door to start sending in those donations she need to pay up the situation.
I thought, correct me if I'm wrong, Conscious. I thought it was illegal to raise, like, to have GoFundMes for lawyer fees.
Well, it is for GoFundMe. It is for GoFundMe, but this is Go and Send, so they don't have that same clause.
Oh, I never heard of that. Go and Send. I never heard of that.
I mean, a Give, Send, Go. Yeah, it's a different platform, so they have a different rules. But on GoFundMe, yeah, you can't raise money if you've been found guilty and if you've been accused of certain.
Oh, I forgot that. GoFundMe
but Give,
might
Send,
shut
Go,
that
you
down.
can. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm seeing her like, what is the win? What are you thanking people for? Because you're going to be taking more money out of your household, which is unnecessary because you didn't have to end up in this position. When Tori went to prison, all you had to do was let it go. But you want a vendetta against this woman for holding this male accountable, who the same man that she tried to actually protect at the beginning. Meg and Tori know each other. Millie, you don't know either one of them. Meeting somebody a few times as a fan does not mean you know them. You don't know them. That male and his father were playing with you, playing in your face and using you as a pawn. And look where you have landed. They don't have Tory K got 60K sitting somewhere. He's just not giving it to you.
I don't
He's
even
not going to
think
help you.
Daystar or North Star, I don't know his dad's name, Daystar, North Star, I don't care. I don't even think that they even donated to her attorney like fees, or
No,
like
they
I don't
didn't.
even think they participated in this.
Think about it. He wouldn't even get on the phone or a DM with her when he did that with Jason Lee. So it's like, bitch, he won't even give you an exclusive via internet tweet or
That's
a
the thing.
DM.
He didn't even clear her name when he sat down for the deposition. He could have really cleared her in that depot. He could have spoke very
He's a malignant narcissist too. He don't care.
Yep.
He
And
used
he
her. He
still
served her
owes her,
purpose.
Tory Lanez, excuse me, still owes Megan money for that deposition because he wanted to show up.
$20,000 found in contempt. 20 grand.
Correct.
20 grand. He wanted to. They asked him like about whatever they asked him. He was like, "Well, what do you mean? Like, is beef meat, or is a cow a cow?" Like acting stupid in the deposition. So now they both owe the same bitch they hate money.
I told you that she handed out his and hers. Since you needed that, she handed out his and hers. He got a gag order, you get a gag order. He had a trial, you get a trial. Like she gave them, then just
everybody
gets a guilty verdict.
Everybody
you get a guilty verdict.
Christmas is coming.
It's no way you can make me play in a millionaire's business for entertainment. For my are you serious?
But that's why she was crying. Like, remember when I was playing audio recordings earlier this year, and she was hooting and hollering about like Tory Lanez got it, but he ain't like he won't run it, he won't spend it, etc. I guess in the beginning they either had a formal understanding or they had like a unspoken understanding that, look, if I get out here and press the gas, you gonna have my back. And then when it came time to have her back, he was on his back on cell block 8 for Big Derek. So, that was a whole other situation. But it's crazy that this girl went from actually agreeing that he should go to jail for shooting that girl, and the only reason she changed her whole swag on it was because he said hey to her. Once she realized he had messaged her, and then they started communicating, after that, she was team on them knees for Tory.
She could be bought.
Yeah, can be brought, can be paid for. Like, you that desperate to be like, and look, she even alluded to, right, what the motivation was to have proxy to any one celebrity, because to be honest, this could have went either way. Milagro is so principleless and such a pick-nisha and such a wannabe and such a poser that honestly, she would have did the same thing for Meg. It was a first come first serve situation. If Meg would have spoken out to her, if Meg would have ran an interview with her, if Meg would have been willing to, let her ride the bandwagon of her meteorite, at least let her have the tail of the
let
comet.
her drive the boat.
And yeah, like she would have been out here on Tory Lanez's neck. It was just about who was going to give her some type of access and proxy based upon the clout. And Tory, unfortunately, is the one that came first. And then she further really revealed that on the stand when she went into this little diatribe about how all content creators want to be famous, like all content creators' goals are to be in mainstream, boom, 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 boom. That was y'all low-key hearing from her what her personal ambitions are, which is to be a star. And she thought that was going to happen. And she thought that was going to happen. And she thought that was going to happen via Tory Lanez. She was banking on that podcast happening. She was banking on all of the tall tales that he sold to her to get her to act how she acted over the course of a few years. And this is where we at right now. And this is just a big old, and look, and Wiggins trying to do the same thing. He cozies up to Cardi for the same reason. He cozies up to Nicki for the same reason. All these people go where the wind blows.
And CTV,
and let's be clear.
I love you because you're
let's be clear. I want to add this real quick. Oh, go ahead, all.
I was gonna say, I'm sorry to cut the other person off. CTV, I love you for that because you're the opposite of a regular content creator. You don't want proximity to celebrities. You
They
don't
could have it
care
because
if
all these same celebrities in my inbox.
right,
From
yeah,
Cardi,
and they be
like,
calling you
from
and
Cardi to them
contacting you,
all, like all
and
these
like for
people.
example, you have a good relationship with Claudia Jordan, but you ain't going downtown and hanging out and you know what I'm saying, like posting pics. I'm with Claudia Jordan.
You
That's
understand your
different.
connection and your role within that connection.
And
Yeah,
that's a
and
part of being a journalist. Even if you are a journalist and you know celebrities, see, I've done a lot of industry stuff. I used to do a lot of PR work for producers. Even if you are cool with people, when there's time to do your job as media,
Correct.
you still have to separate yourself from what is happening, even if that is your friend, and report on both sides. The thing is with Milagro and Amon needs to understand, in the industry, people use people like you all. They will never trust you. You all are the type of people, not UCTV, these two fame chasers. People literally have been found in the desert because they have ran after fame. Those people will sacrifice you people, which pretty much is what Tori did to Milagro. You were a sacrifice for him, and she cannot see that. You allowed a man that never laid down with you, that never done nothing with you, to sit here and actually use you. And now the consequence is food being taken out of your own daughter's mouths. What are you teaching them? This is what we should not be behaving like. Like,
And
you
when
don't even know that man. And where is the husband?
And when it comes, y'all, this is the other thing too. When it comes to building whatever business that you building, when you really like on your grind and you got integrity and you building something with integrity, it's gonna be successful. Anytime you gotta put another motherfucker down, or it's gotta come off the back of you
Amen.
blaming somebody else or being all in somebody else's business, like, man, that shit gonna be short lived, bro. And it's
There's
don't
no
matter.
blessings in that. There's no blessings in that.
I have always said that you cannot ever do what do I always say? You can never ask for construction where you cause destruction. You can never do that. And in addition to what that beautiful sister said about media, here's the thing. And Milagro probably doesn't know about this. And this is an insider tip. I'm sure Conscious knows about this too. And the person who used to do PR, you know, like the Comic-Cons and the Grammys and all that stuff. There's a thing called a media pass that you can get that will allow you to go to some areas, right? So if you wonder why you see content creators in some areas and why when you go with your own money, why your trip is more expensive than that, here's the gag. If Milagro tries to go for a media pass after this,
Man,
she'll be fucked up. Because let her get a Grammys pass. Megan is a Grammy-winning artist, but also too, Megan has a deal at Netflix. She has a first look down at Netflix. Now everybody knows about it. But as Megan is diversifying her portfolio, she could stop Milagro from ever having a portfolio. So the game is always bigger when you understand the game.
Blackball. Because those people don't even have to ask Meg. They could just know your name from the situation and know her. For one, what Millie needs to understand, they're gonna always choose the star. The star is bigger than you. Meg is not just Meg Thee Stallion that the black girls know. She's an international superstar, sweetheart. My white friends love her. And they did not like this case at all. They hated it.
Japanese,
and that's what I don't understand, why so many of them operate the way that they do. Like literally, like the industry is so teeny tiny. As massive as it is, it's really teeny tiny. It's relational. It's more about who you know than what you really do.
Than what you know.
Yes, how you behave, how you move has a lot to do with a lot of it. When people were calling me haters of Barnyard Wiggins last year or year before last, when he burned up his mentor's book and he was exposing voice notes and all of this, and he was
still using his mentor.
He was burning something in the brush in the barn.
Because I want people to really hear this. When he was out here and he was doing all that, girl, he was exposing the voice notes of Jason Lee. He was out here trying to turn Cardi against her good Judy Jason by being like, girl, he was pillow talking with me about how you don't do shit for nobody. Boom, 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 boom. And I went live and I literally said, this is really interesting behavior to me, because you're the same person trying to get access to mainstream success. You don't, why you so caught up in your ego and you're so caught up in just trying to do Jason Lee in, what you don't realize is that you're also really informing the industry about what mad they look for a bitch like you. So the fact that you're out here now trying to expose industry secrets and you're putting pillow talk tea on the front streets as a get back, you don't think that people like Cardi B are looking at this like, wow, on the front end, it seemed like you putting me up on game when it comes to my so-called fake ass friend. But the reality is you're also showing me that you can't be trusted, bitch, because the minute I don't give you what you think I need to give you, and the minute that you don't benefit from the relationship the way that you think you should benefit from the relationship, what you gonna do? You're gonna be secretly recording calls too. You're gonna be getting out here on Mad Day, bitch, and blasting all of my motherfucking business. Like, he didn't realize how he was literally really exposing himself. And that's why a few months ago, when he got into a Twitter space, he was giving this diatribe about how, you know, I just really regret, you know, a lot of things I did. I would change a lot of things because, girl, it really like it really did kind of fuck my shit up. Like, it's a lot of things I would have changed. And he was just like, now looking back in retrospect. But when I was telling the bitch, this is what was to come, girl, that you were really shrinking yourself, because to whoever just spoke's point, like, the industry is real tight. Everything is about optics. People really look at the way people move and how they govern themselves. And so you guys to really know how to pick and choose your battles. You have to really understand that this thing is really shoulder to shoulder. Because of that, that's why I also won't be able to, like, I know how I'm going to have to go about my shit is going to have to be through my audience. I will not be able to align with celebrities to do that, because to the point that celebrities only think for themselves. Celebrities are really selfish. They do want to have proximity to us, but it's for the sake of controlling the narrative. They are not really quite comfortable with you, you know, telling both sides, etc. It's just,
why do I get the feeling that Milagro is one of those women who says, I don't hang out with women because women are messy. I don't hang out with women because women cause drama. Bitch, you are the drama. You are the messy one. Y'all ever like ran to the women in the panel? You guys ever ran into a woman
She's a
who said, I
crunchy.
don't hang
That's
out
what we
with
call girls like her. A crunchy.
she just also snatched all of the credibility out of her platform. Now that you were found guilty of defamation, regardless of whether the count is being thrown out, a jury found you guilty of defamation. It's only being thrown out on a technicality. It's not being thrown out because you didn't commit defamation. Like, all of this now makes her channel bozo. It makes her commentary bozo. Like, the only celebrities that will probably have to align with her are the celebrities that don't have no choice but to use her. Like, she literally comes down now at the bottom of the scale because she snatched the credibility out of her platform, the same way that now, hell, Trasher K, you know, was forced for a long time to have to only deal with the bottom feeders and the C-listers and the D-listers, because, you know, and she still can't really get no A-list person. Even, did y'all notice how even Cat Williams refused to actually do a sit down with her? Like, he gave her a private conversation, but he did not endorse her platform and come on and give her a full-blown interview. So she's still even dealing with the consequences of, you know, what the Cardi B drama did to her likeness and did to her platform. But as a content creator, you do have to choose. Like, do you want to navigate success through having to be on your knees for public figures who really ultimately are going to more so benefit from you caping for them than you are from them? Or are you going to rely on your audience? And I think relying on your audience is a lot better, because you really do get to stick more to your morals and your ethics if you have one. You don't have to shape things to benefit a person. You don't have to
flip-flop
your ethics, just for the sake of opportunity. Like, it doesn't
because
allow
you know what? Before this is like, what's crazy is she don't understand, girl. Your brand is flip-flopping, because Even with Nicki
Mhm.
Minaj, bro, people stopped fucking with her back when I think it was the page Female Rap Game exposed her, how she was talking crazy about Nicki, and a lot of people didn't know that. A lot of
And she
people,
flip
they
flop.
first time hearing how she was asking Nicki, like, has she been touched, and was going hard on her. You know, Nicki Minaj got that pedophile husband and shit. Like, she was
Yo.
going hard about that. Now all of a sudden, you singing her praises and giving her all the glory and worship. And then
You know
people
what I
found out you wasn't talking like that before. Same here. Oh, you used to
That's
be
what she does.
and then you flip flop. You know what I'm saying? Doing this. So it's like, girl, the brand you building is really looking pretty sad outside of the people who just hate Megan so much that they fuck with you. Just
Girl,
off
you
of
know
I
what I
want to
remember
add
now
this.
that
I want to
you
add this real quick. I gotta say this to CTV. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have celebrity friends. Let me tell you why. It's like something just telling me to say this to you. It's because you offer more than these people, and it's not even about them. It's just about you and who you are and your personality, your spirituality, your connection. Just to in tune with yourself, people are gonna be drawn to you regardless. So you might as well get ready for those celebrity friends, but they're gonna be the type of friends that don't use you. That's not what they're gonna be there for. They're gonna be there to elevate you and to help you get into spaces. That's what your friends are gonna be there for, because you just have a light and a spirit on you that
100%.
nobody can deny, and it's a good thing. Like when I look at Millie, even I look at Barnyard, I see darkness, and I understand one's fighting to be in the light, but he clings so much to that darkness, and he don't understand that it takes accountability. And to come out here, you have to say, "Hey, I was wrong," because they're using new media. That's Jason Lee's term. You don't like him? Why are you using that? That type of stuff.
Yeah,
And
and
no one else
let
says
me
it but
include
him.
also to what
Real quick,
the
I just want to
previous
say
young
that to
lady
him.
was also saying about Nicki Minaj. I do remember because we've been talking about relationships with celebrities as a blogger. I do remember Milagro and both Armand. They were on a live with Nicki Minaj, and Nicki Minaj had both of them argue with each other on Queen Radio. So they were both like going back and forth, and Nicki was just sitting there like, yeah, get her,
I heard
get
it.
him. You know, Nicki was doing that. Nicki Boy's like, whatever she does,
She
I'm not
doesn't like
listening
either
to
one
it.
of them.
Yeah,
Nikki
she
don't like
doesn't
either
like
one of them.
either one of them. But so she befriended them, and they took the bait because they're bloggers and a celebrity was talking to them like Nicki Minaj. Like they took that and I think, in my opinion, for them as bloggers, they took that relationship with the celebrity more serious than what it was, to the point where Nicki Minaj had both of them arguing with each other live on
I
Queen
heard it. I
Radio.
was there.
It's crazy.
I heard them.
Let me just give, some of the people in the chat some
I told you
advice.
people use them. They're
This is
jesters.
this is like for the bloggers, YouTubers, streamers, whatever you consider yourself. The reality is, it's cool to have conversations with celebrity, relationships with celebrity, but the reality is I don't feel like there's a commonality between the two unless you have integrity. Integrity matters. If you don't have that, then you're forever going to be compromised. This is why we're seeing the situation with Tasha K, Milagro, Gramz, the girl Brene, all of these commentators who want proximity to fame and celebrity. This is the reality of being in the middle and not being able to make a logical decision, to just be honest, to be truthful, and to not have a biasness in any situation. Milagro failed. She just failed all across the board. And it's sad because she actually had an example prior to this. Tasha K, dare I say it, she actually was warning Milagro. And anytime
Yep.
Tasha K is warning you and you don't take that as a sign to, like, okay, maybe I'm doing something wrong, she deserved to lose this case. And I'm glad she lost, because this needs to happen more. I'm for celebrities suing these people. Sue them, because it's not about the money that they're getting from you. It's the
Yep.
principle. You can say whatever you want to say, you can go and put whatever you want to put up, but you cannot lie. That's the thing. You can't lie, period.
And you can't push your opinion as a fact of somebody else's life. You cannot do that. That's not even why are you even doing that anyway? Like,
Right,
I
because
just
how do you take that
her mind.
inconclusive DNA means that it wasn't there? That's not what that
Right.
means.
That is not what
And
that
that's a
means.
lack of education. She
That
needs
just
to
means
honestly
the guns was
she
the
needs to go back
gun
to
was found
college.
so many times
Wherever
and
she's
was too
from.
many fingerprints to actually determine who held it.
Right. Inconclusive means we can't say that it is or isn't because
Right.
it's inconclusive. But what it did conclude was that more male DNA was on that gun than female DNA. That's what they did conclude.
Exactly.
And my thing was with that is it's like you got on here trying to push that and said information following behind the DJ that don't spin and came back and that wasn't the truth. And people sitting up here talking about, oh, Megan lied. It's like, dude, how many lies did you tell? And my thing is, why you wasn't looking at that nigga like, okay, niggas, you gonna say something? Because how the hell you sitting up here going to bat so hard for him? He won't even tell on her if she is allegedly, if her and Kelsey fought and Kelsey was the one that really shot her or whatever happened. How come that nigga never said nothing?
Well, he did.
Oh,
He actually
not even that. You remember, and I'll bring this up because
No, I'm
this
saying
right
he
here
never
is
said
her.
nothing in court. Like he didn't get up there and under oath
Exactly.
and say nothing.
He never even
But
tried to
no, I
defend
was saying in
himself.
regards to Milagro, because this is where Milagro should have, she should have woke up sooner, because he actually made the statement on his social media. Kelsey never, shot anybody. So if it wasn't Kelsey, then it was you.
Right.
It was you. So that's why I'm
And
saying.
remember when Nick, and I still say this to this day, remember when Nick and Knight released those the files and everything in the courtroom? The first thing Milagro did was jump online and say, "You're trying to embarrass me." The girl was like, "What? What are you talking about?"
Oh, women
Because
attacking you.
she
Imagine that.
She took that real
she
personal.
knew that she was out here trying to spin a narrative, trying to what do you call? Misinterpret the truth. She knew she wasn't putting out all the truth within that court case, and then had this nerve to say this girl was lying. This idiot didn't think that people could release the court documents and what's going on in the courtroom. This is how slow this girl is.
Exactly right. And this is the thing
I
too.
believe people call this girl smart.
The fact that she graduated with a criminal justice degree, she thinks that pop culture commentary is hard on YouTube. You go over to true crime. Those people are crime files. Let you slip up one wrong time. And on top of what the young lady said to Consciouztv, my mom, she said this to me a long time ago. She said, people have to earn the right to hear your story. But how I added to that is people have to earn the responsibility to be a part of it. Yeah. Not everybody deserves to be a part of your story. And when you can recognize that, you'll be at peace with it. Because I think this also goes to show, and I've always have said this, that boys and girls will do anything for attention. Men and women will do something for a purpose. And when you don't have a purpose for yourself, you'll do anything for attention. And I honestly think that sometimes in life, when you don't have your own, how can I put this? When you don't have an account with protection on it, you will just do anything with your account. So like how you said that you wanted to come on my platform, let me tell you, whether that were to happen or not, I know I'm somebody.
Right.
And I think that's the problem. When you move in who you are, people will see it. And sometimes you don't have to have the biggest number of subscribers. Just move with integrity. Like
that's how that you hear about that one girl who got that Oprah Winfrey deal on the networks. They said she only had like 10 views, and Oprah was one of them, and changed her life. You never know who's watching you. You just need the right eyes and be in the right place at the right time. Not like these thirsty little sack chasers.
Right.
But you gotta listen
about it.
But y'all gotta remember but y'all got to remember these people. Like you gotta remember a Wiggins story. You gotta remember Milagro story. These are a lot of these content creators came from fucked up backgrounds. They had very diverse upbringings. They were poor. They had addicts as moms. They had homophobes as parents. They were neglected on various levels, and so they came into the social media shit with a lot of gaping holes in their souls. They came with a lot of injuries in their mental and a lot of injuries in their heart. And that shaped the way that they showed up in this content creating space. And then what makes it even worse is that you have supporters, right, who unfortunately also think that the entertainment aspect is greater than the fact aspect of what we do. And so the supporters sometimes can be a hindrance as well, because they push support and they provide a monetary incentive for content creators to act a plum fucking fool, even if it's to the detriment of the content creator themselves. And so both of these people have a very low emotional intelligence audience base. They will allow these people to talk, operate, and move in ways that will destroy future opportunity for them, that will destroy proxy to, you know, higher pay and higher situations, all if it means the audience getting what they want from the creator. And these people are able to, a lot of people on here are able to experience a higher visibility than they ever got in their real lives. So like the real question would be, who would all of these people be without social media? Yeah. They would be working in corporate America.
And that's why you guys
no
need to hit
fucking
the
body.
fucking cash
Hold
app
on,
for
let Conscious.
CTV.
Go ahead,
Hit the
Conscious.
fucking cash app.
Huh? What happened? About a cash app? What happened?
No, but I've been saying that this girl has unhealed.
The cash
She has
app for
unhealed
content
mother
creators like
wounds.
this who are honest and true. I hit the cash app yesterday. Y'all need to send that $20 or something. I said, little birthday gift. You guys need to donate to content creators like this instead of content creators that like just be doing it for the fame. But
no, absolutely. And Conscious, I still accept the invite for you to come on the channel. I just wanted to bring that up to you, that all starts with your mind. So please don't think I was rejecting you. I was investing into you.
No. I was actually expounding off of what you said, because like that's a great point. Like a lot of content creators are very unhealed. They are unhealed. They are grifty as a result of being unhealed. They can be brought as a result of being unhealed. That's why they got 10 toes but still don't stand on shit, and they blow with the motherfucking wind. Like even look at how Milagro and Barnyard Wiggins was dragging the fuck out of each other all the way up till the whole new media thing, and now all of a sudden they acting like besties. And she over on his platform when girl, he used that same platform to humiliate you this whole year. He used that same platform to galvanize his supporters against you, to further your own mental health issues as a result of going through this whole ordeal. Like they don't stand for shit, and that's just so unfortunate. But Megan and Cardi are setting the precedents for what happens when you choose to grift and you choose the bullshit over the integrity and ethics of it all. And so now content creators are going to really have to differentiate between the hoot and holler and rooting of it all from their audience and their own individual personal ethics, and be willing to be true to that, because right now, I mean, it's going to be an open season on commentators. Like we are the new paparazzi, we're the new etc. And as a result of what they did, and this president's in this case, I mean, content creators now have an incentive to actually have to straighten the fuck up. But a lot of them, like I said earlier, they want the glamour of the media title, the glamour of the journalism title without the actual ethics of it all. And that's going to be why a lot of them going to still find themselves in Milagro's seat.
Shoes, yep. In reality, y'all, journalism is not like a glamorous job in reality. Like newscasters, the Barbara Walters and stuff. It takes a lot to get where they are, but it's not anything glamorous really about it. These people have some type of integrity, some type of work ethic. You have to move a certain kind of way. And these two, it's like we all used to try to root for everybody, but these two, it's like it's hard to root for because they lead with being uneducated. They lead with not knowing, intentionally not knowing, because these are people who are almost 40 years old. These are not 20-year-olds. They are intentionally,
and that's the sad
they're
part.
doing this.
That's
What you just
sad.
said was facts. When you said the intent, I think that's the word that people need to really consider. Intent. They are intentionally doing this type of stuff because they don't have to. They know there's things that are going to happen if you lie, like getting sued. Like I said, she literally had a prime example, which was Tasha K. She intentionally lied because, again, they don't care, because the proximity of getting them any type of fame, notoriety, people noticing them, just like she had no problem saying, like at the beginning of the trial, well, I'm going to be everywhere, so make sure y'all tune in. This is literally what she was saying. This is the type of stuff she was saying. That's why I said I am thankful she lost. Like they say, you shouldn't really gloat in people's demise. No, in this case, I'm thankful because it's people like her that have no problem tearing other people down, ruining other people's lives, as long as it pushes them further. And in this case, it didn't push her further. It just brought people closer to the reality that this woman is a lunatic. And everywhere
Yeah.
she goes or tries to go within media, they're going to say, oh, she's the girl that lied on Milagro. I mean, she's the girl that lied on Megan, just like they do Tasha. Oh, you talking about the girl that lied on Cardi B? It's like you're not going to get any
You're
proximity
infamous.
for that. Yeah,
You
they're
become
just going to
infamous.
call you who you are.
It did get her closer to an even more negative amount in her bank account. That's what it
That's
did
about
bring her
it.
closer to.
But
There's no
we're
win.
forgetting a couple of things, y'all, and y'all have made some great points. I'm just gonna say this and get
Hey,
off
Finn.
to.
Hey, Bo.
Hey, love. How are you?
Hello,
Great. How you doing,
welcome.
boo?
Hey, everybody.
I saw you all beautiful with that hair cascading over them damn shoulders, honey.
I
Trying to
actually
get
got to
my
get
hang
it done
time.
again.
Trying to get my hang time to run from his money.
Yeah,
Welcome to the
well,
platform, boo.
me and you need to talk. It's been so many changes.
Right.
Number one, I lost my
Yes.
father in October, so
Oh,
I'm
God,
I'm
you
so
got some
Sorry to
sorry.
hear
support.
that.
yeah,
I'm so
thank you.
sorry.
So, it's been a lot going on. And matter of fact, Conscious, you may want that story because
Okay.
that one may go public.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So
Oh,
you need to call me. I'm off
yeah.
Thursday and Friday. You need to call.
Okay.
I was about to say he need to
All right.
let me come down.
So he wasn't sure.
I'm in Charlotte and do my hair. I can drive. I got a car.
Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
Not
yeah,
saying I have resources,
okay.
but I'm here
But
for it.
what I was saying about Milagros, when you put fame, fortune, proximity, and money in front of people, it tells the world who you are. And she didn't just get this way because she got a little bit of attention and some infamy. Infamy. I think to some degree she's always been this person. She found a medium that exploded it before our eyes. And what I feel sorry for is her children. What you put out there on the interwebs and Beyonce's internet is going to stay forever. Like you all said, yes, she has ruined every opportunity coming forward for a few minutes of infamy and proximity. That's why I said what I said. Conscious proximity is going to get you in trouble. That's part of what some of my story that you need to call me about.
Yeah.
Proximity is going to get you in trouble. We
Yeah.
live in Atlanta. These
Right.
famous people, they get sick. They come to the hospital. They bleed like everything else when they getting carjacked and all of this kind of what. I don't jump up and down every
Right.
time
Well,
I
you
meet
just
a male.
mentioned
As
something
far as I'm
important.
concerned, they need to be jumping up and down about meeting me. I'm the one with the keys to the
You
mailbox.
actually just
Off that
mentioned
part.
something important. You
Mhm.
mentioned that when things stay on Beyonce's internet, it's there forever.
Mhm.
Milagro deleted thousands and thousands of text messages as
But
if the court could not go back and recover them.
and
Hmm.
not only that, I mean, look at everything that everybody. She could stop doing the social media tomorrow. Everybody has clipped her stuff, has
Yes.
recorded her stuff. If they wanted to keep this whole story alive for another 10 years, it could be done. My thing with her is people like her and Armand don't need fame. They don't need fortune. They need to be everyday Joe Schmoes because they don't know how to handle it. How do you gaffle and misuse and abuse something that you said that you wanted, that you prayed for, you tried to get it, you got it out the mud, and you get an opportunity and you piss it off. There are a lot better people that would have done a lot further than those two that are going to jobs every day, punching 9 to 5s, coming home because we don't have the access or the proximity or not quite understand how to start in that world. But we have integrity to know that if we ever get the opportunity, we're not going to gaffle it.
I agree with you
I
100%,
just don't
and I do think
understand
that.
people like them. They make no sense to me. And these are,
I
like
don't
you
get
all
it either.
said, these are 40-year-olds. You are too fucking unhealed to be on somebody's social media acting a fool like this. Number one, you got to know if your tax bracket is not like them, you have nothing in common with them. Number
You
two,
shouldn't be talking
you
to
end
them.
up doing their dirty work and their hands are going to come out clean. The only time it didn't
Mm-hmm.
work was for Tory Lanez, period. But even when he get
And
out,
she
it's
said
probably
something.
going to be like he didn't miss a beat. He's probably got some money stored up for this. Baby, you play in the background, you can afford to lose something in. You play in the backyards of where you can afford to lose something. That's
Mm-hmm.
what's
Clean the
wrong with
tax
us. And then
bracket.
you want to be taken as a sick. Number one, you cannot, and I'm telling you, the laws are eventually going to catch up with what we do in social media. You can't sit there and flaunt and say that you're legitimate media and do this because you're not playing by legitimate media rules. And you will pay the piper. Period. I don't feel
Period.
sorry for her.
Absolutely.
I feel sorry for her children because they gonna go down in infamy because of her. Her family has to suffer at her poor choices. Her
Well,
And
husband
think
should have
about
been
it.
somewhere
Think about
getting her
I
some
what
help.
she
One of
said.
her daughters
So,
already was she was on a live. I heard it with my own ears, and her daughter came in there and said, "Well, at least I don't be up talking about mess all day."
And
You
see,
gonna
and
be
these children are hurt by this because they
yeah,
know they gonna get
that's
drawn to
a neglect.
the ringer with their peers because your mama got sued and she got to pay Megan Thee Stallion and she already rich. I
Right. That's
understand my bank
embarrassing.
account don't match none of them. Other than seeing them on a plane or at the hospital or whatever. Hey, how you doing? I'm not asking for pictures. I'm not doing none of that. Because number one, I don't want it to be misconstrued that I'm a fan because I'm not. I ain't that crazy about none of them, no way. And number two, I don't want it to look like I'm thirsty enough to want to be in their proximity. Hell, they ought to want to be in mine. I'm the real intercessor. I'm the one that can
But
pray down heaven. I'm the one that's seen miracle signs and wonders this year. You ought to want
Can
to
I
be in
can
my
I add
circle,
to something, Miss I can't even see her name. I wish I could see her name.
Cynthia.
Miss Cynthia, something you said that was so big. Think about this girl has a daughter. And if I was somewhere and I had a
she got two
daughter
daughters.
and that little girl came to my house and she said, "Well, mom, can I go over there?" And I asked who her mother is, and I saw it was a Milagro. No, because
No, my
I can't
daughter would.
trust
If
you
I had a
around.
kid, they wouldn't be friends with her. Cause no,
No,
you're
I
not. My
can't
business
trust my
not getting
kids
in
to
the
come to
street.
your house because if something happens to her, where maybe your husband or someone else, God forbids, does something to my child, you will stand on the side of my child abuser. You will sit here and give my child trauma. People can't even trust their kids to play with your kids after mess like this because you are
This is bad.
unhinged.
This
It's
is
not
well,
a good
bad
I'm
look.
for her. She
I'm
wasn't
probably
thinking.
gonna
Her
be
husband should
In
have
a
been somewhere
chat,
getting her some damn help.
well, I'm
Cause he
probably
please
know
gonna
he
be the
help.
know this
only
bullshit.
eyeball
He
up
know she
here.
crazy.
I don't feel sorry for Milagro kids. I don't feel sorry for Tasha K kids. And here's why. Because Cardi B had kids when she was doing that stuff to
Mm-hmm.
her kids. Megan the Stallion is a woman who is still within maternal ages. She can have children. Her children will one day have to see this case. So I don't feel any type of way about these people who are being sued kids. The reality is what you do is a direct reflection of the reality your children will experience. So I don't feel sorry for them. Now, here's what I do feel sorry for is that they had to be under this mother because you can't pick your mother. You can't
Mm-hmm.
pick your circumstance either, but this is the reality of what your mama picked for you. So if you're gonna be mad at anybody, be mad at your mama. Be mad at Milagro. Be mad at a trash decay. Be mad at people like that. And when you get of age, do better. Do better than your mother
Mm-hmm.
did. So this
Because they
this is
put
a
ego
lesson
before
for her
first
kids.
and
And
selfishness.
and the sad part is, like I said, this is it's not about a black or white thing. This is about a womanhood thing. Imagine having, I think somebody said she has two daughters, and
Yeah.
you went and did this to another woman. What if somebody did that to your daughters? You
Yep.
see how
Oh, she
life,
Mm-hmm.
want to raise hell then.
that's my point.
Mm-hmm.
Life does not pick and choose what happens to us. It's based on happenstance. So when it happens to you and yours, I don't want to hear nothing about it. I don't feel no type of way about Milagro's kids. I don't feel no type of way about Tasha K's kids. This is what y'all did to y'all kids. Now y'all have to be accountable to your kids for what you did.
And it's
Yep.
definitely gonna make it hard on them. But like I was saying, the laws are gonna catch up. When you sit out there and want to say that you flaunting and you're legitimate media and you're not paying by those rules, you will cost. They have gotten rid of newscasters for years for lesser offense. And I
Hold
Yep.
on,
remember
Miss
there was a
Cynthia. I
time
ain't
that
want
if
to
you
cut you
were
off,
a
but somebody, can we all go on mute so we can hear her? Because we're getting background noise from somebody. I'm sorry, Miss Cynthia. I mean to cut you off.
no, that's all right. But no, I would come from a time when there was legitimate media. When you told a story, you would interject your thoughts, opinions, or ideas, whatever is what the facts were. It was an old show called Drag Day. He said, "Just the facts, ma'am, just the facts." We need, if you're going to do this, black people, white people can sit around, they don't beef anymore, or they turn their beef into millions, like the two white guys that got makeup product lines and they were once beefing online. We don't know how to eat. If either you're going to turn a profit from it and everybody can eat, or you need to stay legitimate
Why
because
are
you
you
can't
guys just
afford to pay
saying
the
black
price.
people?
Huh?
Why
Because
are you
I don't
why
see,
you
I watch,
specifying
wait a minute,
black
hold on, baby,
people?
wait a minute. Because here's the thing, I watch other content creators of other races. They are not, they tell a story, they can talk about the same stuff that we're talking about. They put it out there, they may say at the end what their opinion is, and they have it understood as entertainment. They don't add a bunch of conjecture and all this stuff to it. And they're not the ones getting dinged and sued. We are. We love to keep in the mess in the minutia of it all. So
Oh,
we're
okay.
not the people that need to be the ones in court for stupid stuff like this. We can't afford it. This, I mean, it's like it's a lack of common sense. That's why I said, do not play in people's backyards that you can't afford to lose something in.
But I think also too
I
within
see
that,
what
that's
you're saying.
not every black person. I think you're just saying it
Is
as a general message. And I will say this, right?
yes, that's
To to
thank you.
to
That's what
to,
I'm so
to
right. Be
um to,
careful.
right to somebody in the chat. Why would you watch a reject with 54,200 subscribers and more total views and you don't have a channel? That's one. Number two, within that, I do think that at some point in time that the sins of the mother and father go up to the children.
They
I
do.
I understand how that person feels. In the same token, though, with the world that it is, what I hope out of this is that when the kids see this, is that they grow bigger, better, and stronger than the parent. Because in the same token, they are a human being. The third thing is this. There was a statement that Issa Rae said that I'm rooting for everybody black. If I could talk to her, I would ask her, does that include Amanda Seals? Because here's the thing, right?
I'm rooting
It,
for y'all, but
it
y'all keep letting me down. Not
exactly.
and
So
not everybody, but you know what I mean, right?
no,
I'm
absolutely.
rooting
And
for
this is the
y'all.
and this is the thing, right? If jobs have standards or requirements, then we should have that as people. And the sad thing's going to be, I promise you, Linnell Plummer will say, "Hey, Milagro, you want to do Milagro's Media Star Academy on Zeus?" She will take that and she will try to make something out of it. I promise
I
you.
bet
I
you.
promise
Yes,
you.
you hit the nail on the head. You're right. Absolutely. I'm sorry for interrupting. You are
No, you're
absolutely
good.
right.
I just see it coming.
And there are no lies told in what you said, young man. I'm just disgusted with the fact that number one, these were two black women. She could have brought you up probably to her level, or at least gave you the proximity if you wanted, if she had been decent with her. You gonna let a frog and toad looking child convince you to be internet bully. Because essentially that's all she is an internet bully. But now your pocketbook is about to be full.
Because people don't like
agree with
bullies in
that
real life.
to
People
a
want to
certain
bully
extent.
bullies.
I
No,
agree with that to a certain extent, though, because in the situation, and I think this is very comparable in this case. So when you look at a Milagro Gramz who was only doing this because she thought it would get her closer proximity and opportunity from Tory Lanez. When he did that, or when she felt like she could get that from him, she immediately placed herself. Now notice I'm saying she placed herself, not the people, not her subscribers.
Mhm.
She placed herself on the same level as Megan Thee Stallion. Well, let's look at Tasha K. She did the exact same thing. She thought she was on the same level as Cardi B. Look at Armond Wiggins when he was arguing with what's his name, Ken Barbie. He told Ken Barbie, "Oh, you're beneath me. It's me and Cardi B. We on the same level." These people people like them, they think they're on the same level.
Delusional. Nobody's
It's
booking you for
delusion.
Fashion Week in Paris. You're not
You
getting
can barely get.
And can I point something out?
You can barely get a DEI spot on Angela Yee's show, yet alone be on Cardi B's.
Y'all looking for your supporters to pay your way. Delusional.
Out CTV
Delusional.
because I remember Milagro sharing Nicki's song about lying on your dead mama, and you had talked about that diss record, but you didn't dance around about that. You didn't dance about lying on your dead mama. You didn't think it was funny. You didn't think it was cute. You didn't dance around about that, and she did. And there's other content creators that thought that record, the Bigfoot record that that Nicki dropped against Meg, was okay. That record stopped being okay for me when Lying on Your Dead Mama was on there, because you don't talk about anyone's dead parents at all.
No, you do not. It's very disrespectful.
Because the thing is,
especially when you have a father who was killed by a man under the influence.
That part.
And that's what they do. They think it's funny because their moms are still alive. So you want to pick at somebody. And let me tell y'all, I always at one point up till MAGA Barb, I was a fan. I tried to dismiss stuff, but I hated that diss record. And honestly, it was trash. It was not good. It was not well thought of. It wasn't witty. It wasn't cunning. It wasn't nothing funny. And the fact to sit here and make a joke talking about somebody lying on their dead mama when
the universe is listening. And I'm sorry to cut you off, but the thing is, the universe is always listening. When you talk about death, or you talk about or make a joke of someone's dead parents, see how fast death comes to your door. I just believe in the universe, in karma, what you say comes back. When you talk about it, you're gonna see death show up in your family somewhere. So you can't talk about stuff like that.
No, fully agree. But the biggest thing for me was she got upset about a law that protects children. Right. When does anybody get upset about a law that protects children?
Because of what her hubby did. But what I wanted to say was
her brother
unfair. Oh yeah, every male that she deals with. When you sit here and you make jokes like that because your mama is sitting here walking around, when it's time for your mama to go because she will leave, that is inevitable. Everything that lady said against Meg, she's gonna feel that pain and regret ever saying that. I think a lot of us up here, we have lost parents, we have lost our mothers. It is not a pain that you just go away. And it's weird how to watch. Even when when my mom was alive, I never played with people like that. I never wished that. I never played with that. I just thought it was always.
And notice how the record label never cleared that record.
They didn't push it either.
Nicki,
they knew what was up.
On YouTube, on Spotify, her label never cleared that record. It's Rock
But
Nation.
see, the whole thing
I'm sure
about
Jay-Z
that record
took it down, bitch.
The whole
Rock
thing about
Nation
that
took it
record
down.
The thing about that record was Nicki just being able to be evil. And see, Nicki has mastered a level of being evil. She'll do things like Nicki Minaj. She won't directly hire a Milagro Gramz, but she'll do something like shout her out on a record. just to stick it to Megan, because that's the type of ignorant stuff that she feeds into. But it shouldn't even have took for that record, because Nikki had done 1,000 of, mind-boggling things before she even married Kenneth Petty, like supporting her disgusting brother and agreeing with Rick Ross. So like I said, people like that, these are who the Milagro Gramz and Armand Wiggins and Tasha Case, they enjoy being in alliance with, because they think just like them. And this is why it's not only sad, but it's dangerous, because these are people with a platform. They have young people who are watching them, young people who are like, yeah, you right, Armand, you right, Milagro, you right, such and such. It's ridiculous that these are the type of people that have a base of support. And then you question, well, why are they even following them? It's because they've gotten used to this type of dysfunction. And this type of dysfunction will encourage more dysfunction. So this is not going to be the last, lawsuit we see. We're going to see a plethora. We're going to see more, because this is not going to
Yeah,
stop.
we are.
When
You
you
got
look
to
at Milagro,
understand the
she done
stars.
dominated the case.
The
See, look what she's
stars
done.
are watching. The stars are watching this. So they're going to, and don't think that they're not watching y'all bloggers. They are. They're not signing in and giving money and making themselves known. Either they're watching them or their team is watching. They
Yeah,
once
when
they
you say
realize
stars,
I
just
can
to
stop
clarify, you mean
somebody by the way
stars
of
like the
court.
universe, because
Say,
don't say stars like celebrities are
I mean,
watching. You
but
mean like
yeah,
stars overall, like the
yeah,
stars above us.
right. Celebrities, if you will. But anyway, they're watching you all. They're going to, whatever stories and bad behavior they put out there, when they want it to go away and you all keep it alive, and I'm talking content creators, and just, they're going to start using the courts to come after you all to shut you up. And that's the kind of stuff that attorneys and people are talking about. How does all this rifle with the First Amendment? If people can, with money, can use the courts to shut up folks up. But by the same token, you have a responsibility not to be out there putting out lies and making up stuff on these
Girl, the
people.
live is popping tonight. I feel like some of the gentlemen in the chat haven't had as much as an opportunity. To the gentlemen in the chat, how do you feel about everything you're hearing? What would you like to share? Because I feel like you haven't spoken as much.
You're talking about me?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm talking to you.
Okay. So I've been following the story in the background for a little bit of a minute here. But I'm a Conscious crew. Hey, Conscious.
Hey.
How are you?
Oh, that's
I
so
am
good.
40 and fabulous. How are you?
40
Bitch. The universe had just been whooping my ass. Okay.
You ain't the only one.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm done with y'all. Let's log off. I'm done.
Well, we're not getting together. Can I add this real quick? I just wanted to say this. My thing is, with when it comes to Armand and Milagro fighting for this new media title and acting like some of this stuff is brand new, blogs and newspaper, magazines, they have always got sued, even back in the day. There is nothing any different. It's like they think there's some new phenomenon, but there have always been people from YouTube who are in
Exactly. New
spaces.
York Times
They're
has
not
been sued
new.
multiple times.
And someone
Oprah
said it in the
Winfrey
comments.
has been
multiple
sued
times.
over
Exactly.
the beef industry.
Someone said it in the comments. Them screaming new media and the way that they behave makes them look ghetto and lowbrow. And they do.
Yeah.
Someone said it in the comments. It doesn't seem like something that people want to be a part of.
And by the
Oh
way,
yeah,
What y'all
let's
do?
give
They
the
get
gentleman
sued?
and give them a moment
So
to
here's the
speak,
thing.
ladies.
Here's the thing, because everybody's asking like a great question, right? So what does it mean for new media? All you have to do to avoid being sued is
tell the truth or shut
well,
the
so here's where it's gonna get sticky, and this is what people might not really like. Okay, this is where it's gonna get sticky at, because it's clear to me that the general public seems to be interested in bloggers and commentators having to have some type of boundary or some type of foundational ground to say what they say, because a lot of people who listen to commentary also like to be informed properly. Like they enjoy being right to, they enjoy having the right information, they enjoy the accuracy of things. And with content creators not necessarily having to uphold that, content creators have been able to go ballistic and just spreading bullshit and just talking out of the sides of the goddamn necks. However, if hypothetically going forward, let's say that on a federal level, commentators all fall under new media, which is something that does not apply federally. This is something that's very Florida based, and this has happened in an isolated incident. So I really don't even know why these content creators are on Twitter waving around new media when I don't even apply to them, because Armand don't even live in Florida and neither does Milagro. So they both are idiots.
Hello. Florida is crazy. I don't give a fuck.
So, this is a Florida-based thing right now. However, it does, now that it has happened, it does restrict content. It does restrict commentators who like the storytell more so than they have an interest in the facts. But even if we cite media, like bloggers are now media, commentators are now media, that's very interesting, because if you want to avoid being sued, you know what the gag is? Being sued for slander and libel is not even about telling lies, because as the judge even said to Milagro in the beginning of this litigation last year, she was like, look, most of this actually could have been, your First Amendment could have washed your rent just to most of this. It was really the deep fake that really, the judge was like, you're going to have to see her about that, because it's very hard for public figures to prove something that's also slander.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. And that's the whole judgment.
Hold on.
It's something that you have to do aside from just prove somebody lied. You got to prove that they did it maliciously, and that is very difficult to prove. So unfortunately, public figures still can't, like, they won't just get a win on the fact that it's a lie. The courts would never make that such, because in that case, honey, everybody has to be in the court. Like, the docket would always be filled. Like, the courts would be backed up if they just allowed everybody who told a lie on somebody to, have to waste up court resources and deal with all that. It would never be undone. So the courts call themselves trying to like keep the courts from being overwhelmed by adding the other stipulation of malicious intent. And that's where people like Milagro got into place. So unfortunately, I don't think this is going to really change anything as it relates to lies, because technically you can lie. Your First Amendment allows you to hypothesize. It allows you to whatever, say what you want, say what you feel, blah, 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 lie on somebody, whatever the case may be. But if you did that lying maliciously, which is why a lot of commentators now put the clause that this is for entertainment purposes. Like, I'm going to lie for entertainment purposes. I'm going to lie for parody purposes. I'm going to lie for the sake of just entertaining my audience, because you can technically get away with lying, but you cannot get away with having malicious intent on top of spreading misinformation. And when you muddy that up because a person is a public figure, like, you are already naturally subjected to public scrutiny, you are subjected to conspiracy, you're subjected to, all of the urban legending of it all.
It's consistent too, CTV. It's when it's consistent, you're really trying to pump what you think as a fact, like you're really pumping it and you're like, I'm gonna push it, do this, y'all, this. And when you're doing that, that starts looking malicious. That's what makes it look malicious.
Yes. So I'm sorry to cut y'all off. So there's another part of the thing too. It's not just it's also when you're posting it online or broadcasting it to the world, and you are knowingly, and this is the key, this is why they say it has to be malicious intent, because you knowingly put this out there, knowing that it was false.
Is this William? Because William.
Yes, that's William. William.
My nigga William.
So
not my nigga.
That's where it becomes a bit of sticky, which is why when it comes to,
but honestly, even if you push it, you can push it a lot, as long as you're doing it in a lighthearted fashion, as long as you quote unquote are not doing it, as long as you're not quote unquote doing it in a way that's coming across as nasty. Like, this is why even in in Milagro's case, right, they had to pull up of her calling Meg out of her name and bitch, and I fucked that hoe up, and because that then starts to lend to the intent, the energy behind how you're talking and communicating about this individual seems to be from a place that y'all all agree, right? It feels personal, like everybody who is saying that they had to stop listening to her is saying, girl, I couldn't look because it started getting dark. Like she started making it seem like, girl, this is like personal to her. Like this girl done did something to her. Like why you going so hard? Why you being so ugly? Why you being so nasty with it? Like what? Like it's no context. So
I do agree with that.
That begins to help to establish that maliciousness, even with Trasha K, like her, like obviously with Cardi B jumping in her DMs trying to reason where her Trasha didn't want to fall away. She's talking mad shit. She's dragging culture. She telling her fans that Cardi shouldn't be kissing her daughter because she gonna get a girl herpes and da 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 da.
Well, I'm interested to
calling
hear
her out of
what
her
William is
name
gonna say
and
because
the whole nine. Like it's like, okay, like you really with the shits and you were really trying to inflict further emotional distress after this woman was publicly letting it be known that she was in distress, that she was being harmed, that she was being troll farmed, she was being cyberbullied, people all up under her comments saying crazy shit because of the space you're creating around something that's not even true on top of that, and you're causing explicit harm. And so, but historically it is difficult for media to be found guilty of malicious intent as it relates to their slander. But we are living in a different day and age. To y'all's point, I do think a lot of things are going to change because now social media does exist, and this is another way people can be harmed. There have been plenty of people who have taken their lives as a result of going viral for the wrong reasons, as a result of being publicly humiliated. Like, we're literally living in a very unique time. Social media has not happened to any other generation. So there are not a lot of laws right now on the books to really create a lot of boundaries. But now that we're here and harm is being happened and harm is happening, we're going to see, to y'all's point, a lot more people be sued. We're going to see a lot more legislation being pushed. Just like in the state of Florida, they created a lot of legislation around AI because of how AI can really harm a citizen, etc. And we're going to just see more of that being packed on as we evolve in social media, because right now social media does need that because it's a wild west out in this motherfucker.
And
so,
can I
yeah,
say something really quick?
Hold on, just one moment, everyone on the panel, because William has not had a chance to speak. So I want to give William time for commentary. I don't give a fuck about that nigga because every time he up here, he don't talk about nothing. But go ahead.
Hold on. I just want to, because I forgot too. I never had answered Pep's show. So really, like, honestly, if you just want to avoid any type of legal issue, because to be honest, somebody can sue you even if they know it. Like, you still don't want to be sued, even if technically you may not be found guilty of something, because being sued is a penalty all by itself that causes strain on your economics. It causes strain on a lot of shit. So you really just don't want to end up sued, even if you're being sued frivolously. If a content creator don't want to be sued, the reality is just literally call it what it is. If you are in fact reporting facts, you can report those facts as facts. Anything that deviates outside of that fact, then you just need to be you need to be just citing the source in which you need to be citing that is your opinion. You need to be like, it's just about preferencing what you are saying. That's really the easiest way to stay out of the bullshit. Is just preference your conversation, preference your commentator, and you can be
So I wanted to piggyback on what Conscious was saying about the whole commentary. Even when I was active on YouTube as a content creator, I never when I did stories about Bishop Bling Bling or about Jaguar Wright, for an example, I never preferenced my commentary around, well, I know this to be true. I know this to be a fact. I know all of this. I always preference it around opinion. These are my opinion. I'm giving you the source. I'm giving you what I read. I'm giving you all of the things just so everybody knows that this is where I got my information from. And now here is my opinion. I do not go out there with unverified claims and lie and do all of the extra shit just so that I can make a couple of dollars here and there, just trying to make somebody else look bad and get dark and all that. No. I don't do that. And for whatever reason, for me, Milagro, girl, what were you thinking? Did you think that this was going to end well for you? Like, just because you had close proximity to that little man down there in the jail cell? Did you think that was going to somehow end well for you? Well, we're here now, so you wanted it, you got it, now get here.
Exactly my sentiment. Hey, William, I'm going to bid y'all a goodbye because it's time for prayer. Conscious, call me, baby. We got to talk.
I would definitely.
And plus, we got to do that show because the nurses are all on social media trolling the fuck out of everybody talking about we not professionals.
Absolutely. We got to talk about it. I'm going to call you Thursday.
Okay, baby. Love you all. Bye-bye.
I love you too. But that was our
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, y'all. I gotta get up out of here, y'all, because I gotta go to. It's a lot of shit that is going on. But anybody
I
want
know
to
you
get
got your nigga.
I know. Does anybody want to get their final words? And we'll be back because we got to get into Funky and Tamar and a lot of shit. This situation right here is going to be a developing situation too, so we definitely gonna be coming back, getting up in this. But does anybody have any final words on as it stands today? Are y'all? Hold on. I got a question for y'all. Are y'all happy about Florida considering commentary?
No.
Media?
I'll answer. I'll go ahead and answer for the panel. No, we don't respect Florida.
Not for the panel.
Well, wait.
Okay.
But wait.
The craziest niggas in the world live in the Bronx in Florida, so we don't have any respect for Florida.
I'm happy about it.
My.
I'm happy about it because I feel like every state should do it. I feel like every state should have a new media law. And here's why. Because everybody needs to be held accountable. Everybody needs to be at the same standard. If you got one state doing one thing, another state doing one thing, well, bloggers and commentators all live in different states. They don't all just live in Florida. So I'm very happy that they did it, and I hope that they set the standard across every state, so that way that Armand, a Tasha K, a Milagro, and whoever else can be held accountable for the things that they say. And there needs to be a critique of things that they can and cannot say. You can say this within the lines of this, or you cannot say this within the bounds of this. So I like it.
So I think that needs to be a federal law. That can be applied across the board because that would definitely shut down a lot of what we're seeing with a lot of these new media content creators. Girl, you ain't no fucking new media. You just ghetto and raggedy.
All right, let me balance it. All right, have a good night, y'all.
I would say that.
This is homebody.
I would say, can I put mine? I was just gonna say that I was glad too because listen. Like they said, you need to be held accountable, but at the same time, you got people out there who think they can say what they want. And guess what? When they send that cease and desist, you got to shut the fuck up. And after that, I mean, next case, because she finna go right into another one. So
that part.
Yeah.
New media all up in the damn courthouse for 2025.
I want to add my little piece because then I want to go eat real quick. A thing is with YouTube, it is actually under what they call in journalism electronic media. They are subjected to the same journalistic laws. This vlogger and blogger, those are just new titles, but y'all are definitely covered up under it. If you're reporting on anyone, especially if you have a platform, like I stated earlier, people have a social responsibility, and they do need to stretch out a law since there are uneducated people like Milagro and Armand who are out here screaming new media when you're not new media. That's not a thing. There are popular people on YouTube who have blown up. Like for real, but for any of them. So I don't know why they're trying to cling to that, because with being media comes responsibility and title. That means then you really know the code of ethics. You're really going to be expected to uphold it. It is not a pass for you to say whatever you want to say and say, well, I'm a journalist. No, because newspaper, magazines, blogs, they retract their statements all the time. That is a responsibility. You don't get to argue your opinion as a fact, because this is not just really, if you're really going to be media, you got to understand it's also a profession. And you have to carry yourself as a professional for your brand. And right now, her brand looks like she's a liar. And I don't care about them sitting here in a chat with 5.3K. And that is what happened with misinformation. Ignorance carries out. And that's what they were doing last night. Because what are y'all celebrating? She's a loser.
Right. Flipping
Who was found guilty of defamation and just got off on a technicality, not because she didn't commit defamation. Like had Megan actually sent the cease and desist, she would have been paying that $15K for the defamation she was found guilty of. She got off on a technicality when
it's still $59K you don't have. It's still $59K that you're online begging people for, and really they shouldn't donate to you. You have a whole husband. Put up that townhome if you want your money.
Flipping socialite. I'm on IG. I would love to stay in touch with you.
Of course.
You and me have the same wavelength of media. So I'll type my IG in the background. And Conscious, I'll DM you on IG as well.
Okay, and I'm gonna follow you back, and we can correspond there too.
Thanks, everybody.
And Conscious, where I can find you on Instagram?
I'm Consciouztv on Instagram, so y'all follow me. I'll follow back.
Why can't I find it?
Let me know. Huh?
She said,
Why can't I find you? I'll find it. Okay then.
And I just dropped it in the back.
CONSTIOUZ TV.
Hold on.
I'm gonna post the actual link in the stream so y'all can hit it.
Okay, yeah. And I just probably Braylon, I don't have anything on my Instagram because I cleared it out. Do a lot of political on my IG right now.
You're fine.
But I'll send you a pic.
Bye, y'all. Beautiful. You're fine. No, and I know I really appreciate Socialite's commentary. Actually, everybody did such a great job. This is what I will say, right? At the beginning, middle, end of the day, you know how people say TV is dying? TV's not dying, it's just evolving. The microphone is never going to die because the microphone's its only job is to amplify what you put in it. So I think this is a very mental lesson for the rest of us, a very hard-bought lesson for Milagro of if you put positivity into the mic, it amplifies the positivity. If you put negativity into the mic, it amplifies the negativity. But either way, you are responsible for what you amplify.
Amen. Thanks, Conscious.
Thank you so much, Abesso. I absolutely agree, Braylon. We're going to continue this conversation. And hey, Royce, hey, boo. Royce just reported that he just heard on another YouTube channel that scams has to pay her lawyers, including that Tall Daddy. They are not pro bono. Oh, wow. So now this explains why the
Holy hell.
I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm not.
Wow. That explains why it's a $100,000 goal on that go and see it. My God.
Milagro. You better get your pocket ready, girl.
Head straight to the border, bitch. Head straight to the border, girl.
Oh, Lord.
Wow. And the fact that they're not even done with the calculations and percolations and torculations of it all on the summary judgment because the attorney fees and legal fees got to be calculated in. Oh my God, this is a lot going on. That's a lot.
Milagro, honey, if you're listening, you better get your ass to Mexico.
Head straight to the border, baby. My God, it came out of, oh wait, that came out of Roy. You gotta send me the link to my Instagram on what channel you heard that of. Send me the link. We're gonna have to indulge in that when I come back. Wow.
What time you coming back?
Well, I need to go return my phone call. I need to jump on a call and get that out of the way, and then I'm gonna jump on camera. So I'll I don't know, probably like an hour.
Okay.
An hour from now,
All right.
I'll be back on. Yeah.
All right.
All right, that was Al William, you guys. Braylon, follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna follow you back, and I would love y'all to keep coming back, especially when we have this conversation, because this is going to be
without
this is
question. No, absolutely, and you're welcome to come on my platform anytime. And truly, tonight, I just want to thank you because I know that you were at 3,000 subscribers and you got to your first million, but the fact that you have given all of us so much love, grace, and space, and you have seen me for why I'm able to contribute, that's more than enough. So I just wanted to thank you. Whatever else you want to do in advance and for the future, I'm more than appreciative. So thank you. Glad to be connected.
Man. No, yeah. The same here, and I just followed you on Instagram.
Okay, I got you, brother. All right, much love.
Really, you guys. Y'all, this is a mess, child. It's just a lot going on. So a commenter has said in the chat, is it true that Megan was rewarded $30,000? If I believe, hold on, is that the question? Let me scroll up. Was that the question? Roy, send me that link. Who you got that from? Because I need to pull them up. That is phony. Let me see here. What's the question? Oh, Terry J. Can someone clarify? Did Meg really want 30 million? No, that is just conjecture from Milagro's team, just throwing out shit. You know, they gotta try to. You know, she lost, so of course they gotta try to find some way to make it seem like, you know, that this was a win on some type of a level. So they're just throwing out conjecture that Megan wanted all these multi-millions. Megan never clarified what amount she wanted. It was always up to the jury. She always wanted a jury to decide the fate of the situation because Megan never cared about the money. This was just about proving who Milagro was to the law and setting the narrative completely straight and exposing her for all that she was. So yes, it's going to be a lot of like, all that is just a bravado from Gramz team. They took a major L in this case. You know, they're walking around with their tails tucked between their legs. So they're having to just say anything to just make it seem like, oh, this was not as bad of a win as it could have been. And to some degree, it is not as bad of, as bad of a loss. It's not as bad of a loss considering that Milagro right now doesn't owe millions. That would be the worst case. Hell, she could be in her Alex Jones bag and be owing trillions. But to still have a loss of defamation case while you called yourself standing on truth and to owe another person $59,000 that you don't have and you're having to go out here and crowdfund for that coin, and then the calculations on what you owe haven't even been totaled yet because as a result of that deep fake situation, by and according to Florida statute, she got to run Miss Megan her attorney fees, and Megan done, I believe full on that Megan has spent over at least $1 million in just the production of her case. She has 5 different attorneys who've been working around the clock since last year. All of the man hours that had to go into the deep fake, that had to go into all of that, like that's going to be in the 100,000s alone for sure. So as we saw from the court ruling, the judge is still having to send out some post-verdict convictions, you guys. The case is not over. The calculations are not over. It's not going to be just $59,000. Even if it was, hypothetically, it's $59,000 that bitch don't got. Okay? It's a $59,000 tab that she needs other people to run up, honey. But that number is going to escalate. And when it do, we'll be right back here because like Megan's team said, Megan is entitled to attorney fees, reimbursement, and court fee reimbursement. So that's going to be a whole mess. The new media thing is really a slap in the face to commentators like Trasha, like Milagro scams, because it really forces commentators to have to actually operate with a sense of ethics. You don't get to spin a narrative now just for a celebrity because they got you in their back pocket. that's why I don't even understand the win. I know that they think that this gives them some type of qualified immunity when it doesn't, because if it does, Milagro wouldn't be sued if the new media title meant any fucking thing. As media, you can be sued. That's what this proves, if anything, girl. So there's no qualified immunity, and the defamation count did not get dropped because she didn't defame Meg. It got dropped because of a procedural error, because now that she is considered new media, Meg should have sent her a cease and desist, which Meg didn't, because Meg did not consider her media at the time that the suit was filed. And so on that technical ground, the defamation per se got tossed, but the defamation getting tossed was only, it was the least of the counts anyway. It was only a $15,000 count. The deep fake was the biggest count, which had a $50,000 plus tab on it. And that particular count, her being found liable for, has resulted in them attorney fees, baby, and them court fees, baby, under Florida law, baby, having to work in her favor. So it's a whole gag. It's a mess. The new media also does not fall within, it's not a federal application. This is something that's very Florida-based. Wiggins won't even really benefit from it. There really is no benefit from it in commentators, but it does help to establish, if it was applied on a federal level, it would help to clean up a lot of the bullshit on social media, because commentators of all kinds, whether you're a Facebook commentator, whether you on TikTok, whether you YouTuber, whether whatever you are, you know, you will have to operate under those ethical grounds, or you could be liable for damages caused by the recklessness of how you utilize your platform. But this doesn't apply on a federal level. It's not going to mean shit to legacy media that a Florida judge agreed with the jury that one bitch is considered new media. And this actually is going to make Milagro more susceptible to suits, because there's an extra eye on her now, and people are going to be looking for her to lie. They're going to be looking for her to get carried away. Kind of like how every celebrity now has threatened Tasha K with a suit, and she's been sued by other content creators. I mean, she's been sued by other celebrities since Cardi. She's been sued by Soulja Boy. She's been sued by Kevin Hart. Even though some of those suits have been dropped eventually, it was still suits that Trasha had to navigate. She had to pay out of her pocket. She had to litigate in those cases until that celebrity decided to drop it, like Soulja Boy who did, or until a situation is reconciled, like the one with Kevin Hart. So that's why I'm saying that even being sued, even if the case ultimately may get dismissed, even if the case ultimately is frivolous, you never just want to find yourself in a suit, not even a frivolous one, because it's time consuming, it's economically consuming, it can really run you the fuck bankrupt, you know. So hopefully this sets a precedent for dumbass content creators. I personally, as a content creator, will also prefer that journalistic integrity to be there, because that's kind of how I govern my own commentary and my own platform. And I think that that's a very responsible way to be a content creator. And yeah, people just gonna have to be more intentional with the way that they fucking speak, thinking that it's open season on celebrities and that celebrities don't have no fight back, they ain't got no get back. The difference between the public figures in this case and commentators is that most commentators are broke. Most commentators have an average income. Most commentators sitting within the poverty line or maybe exist right above the poverty line. The difference is these celebrities have expendable income. They have, you know, the resources to be able to burn the coin on you just for fun, bitch. You know, so yeah, just be intentional, be responsible. But no, Meg did not want 30 million. She wanted a jury in the courts to define what that looks like. Of course, she has spent money, you know, to sue. She has spent money on her mental health and all of that. So the monetary aspect is there, but she never asked for any specific amount of money, because that really wasn't her point in suing Milagro. She just wanted to give Milagro that work as a result of her being a paid surrogate. And she proved her point by suing this hoe and her being found guilty. And now Meg is, you know, off to the races, honey. Okay. You know, she gets to walk away with another victory. The Teflon Dawn wins again. And we will continue, guys, to give you guys updates on the case. Matter of fact, let me check Megan Kuna's Twitter page one more time to see if there's been any other updates. Let's see here. 45 minutes ago. Quote, and then they go home and they cry about how they're not considered journalists. It's like, well, you can kind of tell who's a journalist by when something happens. What do they do? Okay, so Megan Kuna sat down with Vanity Fair and gave a conversation to them. So y'all can check out Megan Kuna in Vanity Fair, honey. She was giving commentary on the case and all the things, honey. Oh, so I guess that this is Megan Kuna throwing shade. Girl, wait, is Megan Kuna throwing shade, girl? Not Megan Kuna throwing shade, girl, toward new media in her Vanity Fair article, girl. Quote, and they go home and they cry like Millie No Gramz and Barnyard Wiggins about how they're not considered journalists. It's like, well, you can kind of tell who's a journalist by when something happens. What do they do, girl? Right, they want to be media, but not media. Like, make it make sense, girl. This is going to be a shit show. It's going to be a mess. But I love you guys. I got to get out of here. If you enjoyed the show, girl, we had a time was had over here on the CTV platform, girl. I'm going to try to come back and give it to y'all again after I get off this phone call. Please thumbs up, share if you enjoyed yourself. Cash App, Consciouztv, $, or paypal.me/Consciouztv, Conscious spelled with the Z on the end, just like it is here on the channel. And tell a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. Please, y'all, send me all the tea, because I'm just one person. So if y'all see articles and y'all see da-da-da-da-da, send it to me through my email at consciouztv@gmail.com, or follow me on Instagram and DM me the tea. Okay? I love you. See you guys later. Peace.